Oh, we starting?
Are we starting?
I don't know. Sure. Let's start now.
Hi,
and welcome to the podcast.
are you leaning into it right now, or is that just what you're stuck with?
What? The voice? Am I trying to turn
I couldn't
it into...
tell if you're like...
I'm not trying to become John Madden.
I couldn't tell if you were like leaning into it more or not. This is Andrew's voice.
Yeah. Fucked it all up. It's okay though, guys. We're gonna do 999 this way.
No.
And I'm going to do my voice.
Our docket was to do Zero Escape today. Probably next week.
Yeah.
Probably gonna not start that they're sounding like this.
I could try to do Lotus, but I don't think it would turn out well.
Try to do Lotus.
Jesus Christ. Hold on. I can't even be here right now. God, it's just so bad.
It's a problem.
This
is actually a problem.
I don't think I could do it. I could do Ace though. I could do Ace.
You can do Ace.
Yeah, I could do his voice now.
Oh man.
That's so. Unfortunately,
those voices like you're. Do you even know what a virtual display is?
Something like that. Yeah.
You don't have pitches
I don't have,
anymore.
I don't have pitches.
You've lost all the pitches.
I could do the robot voice. That one doesn't require pitches.
That's the only voice you have.
Yeah. Which is great. I mean, I could probably also do, I don't know. I could go lower, I guess. Yeah.
Is there more left?
No. No, there's not. That's not a good idea. I'm going to nix that. Stay here.
Is talking all day just making this last longer?
I will not say yes or no to that. I will probably...
Isn't that how it works?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
It's fine. I don't need my voice. I don't need it the rest of the week, specifically.
Just go all in today.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine. I will just drink tea and... nothing will change because tea doesn't do that.
No,
I don't know why people say that all the time. Like, oh, you hurt your throat, drink tea. I
think tea just became a generic health drink idea because it's mostly not bad for you.
I mean, there's no downsides, but there's no benefit either. I mean, I could put honey in it, and someone says, like, that coats your throat. I'm like, yeah, if I had, like, a sore throat, I tore it up.
Your throat if you haven't already damaged it.
Yeah.
Coating your throat doesn't undamage it.
Yeah, it's not like what's it called? It's not like a Band-Aid. You don't put a Band-Aid over your throat, and then it fixes the sound. Like, that's what coating it would do. It's like, oh, you coat your throat when it's tore up, so that
Band-Aid over your throat.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you have a gash, and someone's like, put a Band-Aid. It's like, no, now it's too late. I need the stitches. Like, you can't just put the Band-Aid over it. And that's what honey would do now. It's like, cool, my throat will sound.
So for background on the 999 thing, it has... so we played 999, and it didn't go as planned. In that I thought the game was going to be better than that.
Wait, are you talking about the original?
Yeah, the original 999.
Sorry, I was like...
No other game in the series...
We didn't play anything else
No other game in the series is called 999.
Is it not?
No.
What's the next one?
Like, the series as a whole is known as Zero Escape.
Yeah, but what's Zero Escape 2? Wait, what's 999 2?
The second and third games are both called Zero Escape, and they both have subtitle.
That's abysmally annoying. So what's...
I think it's Virtue's Last Reward is the second game.
What's 999? Zero Escape 999?
It's just called 999.
I fucking hate you.
And then they made a Zero Escape game that was a sequel to 999, but I think Zero Escape was more successful, so then it became the de facto franchise name. So then they had to name the third one Dark Knight Rises. Even though the first one was called Batman, because that's the name of the hero. We called the second one Dark Knight, and everyone freaked out about that one, so I guess the next one's called Dark Knight Rises, even though it's the last one?
Oops daisies.
They had a Begins movie and a Rises movie in the same trilogy. That's how dumb the naming of that series got.
Right.
It's more like the Dark Knight breaks his back and then hangs from a chain for a week.
Is it a week? Is it a week in game? I mean,
you can't tell how long anything takes in that movie.
Well, he was
that
born.
movie was just a weird mess. That's the only one That's the only one in the series I've never rewatched. Because I was just
the one with Bane.
Fuck this.
The one that was that had the best quotes ever
I just didn't
in all the Batman
care
movies.
Afterwards. I just didn't care about it. I just never want to go back at all.
I was born in the darkness.
Yeah. So I thought that 999 was just going to be a wild romp, and it actually kind of was at the time. It just was for different reasons.
Yeah.
But people got real angry. And because I have a bit of an audience, people have been continually angry at me since.
Oh, no.
I think nowadays the finale is like 50-50 on likes and dislikes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Just is people
it's
that
way
upset?
Up there on dislikes, although they're bullshit dislikes.
I mean, the finale is like the worst part of that game.
Yeah.
That,
for
like,
a number of
hands
reasons.
down, it's the worst part.
It's bullshit dislikes on some level, though, to be sure. Like, there was definitely a spike at launch, but there's that problem with, like... It's like when we play, like, Alone in the Dark or Sonic the Hedgehog, where it's like, when you're playing it live, or not live, like, when it's coming out, that's your audience. But then after that, it's just the world finding your video.
It's just people.
And generally speaking, the people who look up videos of a game are fans of that game.
Yeah.
Like, the one game I've ever tried to experience vicariously through Let's Plays was when I beat Resident Evil 7, and I was like, I need to see other people play Resident Evil 7. I just got to see more of this shit. And that's why I made you play it. And I watched, and I was, like, looking up channels to try to find playthroughs of that sometimes and stuff like that. And it's like, you probably like a thing if you're looking up the thing, which is why it's so profitable to be, like, faux enthusiastic all the time.
Yeah.
Like like so many YouTube channels, especially like high-end Let's Players and a lot of the news channels that are like that are just blatantly like enthusiast channels and like they're reading off PR things and they're always psyched about everything all the time. And they're in a colorful room full of like 1,000 shitty pop figures behind them and everything like that. All that
they
shit.
They have like sets and shit.
It's like because being enthusiastic about absolutely everything, no matter what, is really profitable because you're trying to profit via SEO and people looking up about the thing you're talking about, and they probably looking up because they care about it. So it's So as a result, you get like the tail for any negative series is just a bunch of people that like the thing and getting mad at you forever.
Yeah, it's people looking it up, but they're people who are like diehard fans. Yeah, and then they're upset you're not excited for the ending like they are.
Yeah, so that's why for Sonic games, people are just having fun. Yeah, with it as like there'll be like two people that are like, you guys just suck at this game, and that's why all the reasons. But like a ton of people are just enjoying the video for what it's supposed to be,
which is just.
But then, but I'll have like a year to look forward to of just people trickling in and just forcing themselves to watch it while being miserable the whole time or something.
I don't know why.
And that definitely happens a bit with stuff like 999 too. But the reason why I say the dislikes are kind of bullshit is because the finale has like well over like double the views of the previous episode. Yeah. So on top of that, it's literally people skipping to the end, hearing us not like the game and just disliking it. It's like somebody was like, I think one of the comments I got at one point was I got like you can't even point at a single plot hole to me, and I'm like, the fuck?
We've done that the whole game.
It's like people want me to explain to them the issues I had with the game. I'm like, we did a series. It's all there on the internet. It's in the playlist.
You're not gonna go through and waste your time.
I'm just gonna go re-explain the entire series of 52 episodes every time anyone doesn't feel like watching it. It's like
I feel like you should go
just part ways.
You should probably go through at one point and just catalog every episode, and so every time there's a plot hole, you just list episode 1 through 50, and you just say like these are all the episodes. It'd be useful for remembering
what the story was, but I think remembering the story of the 999 might be detrimental to the playthrough of the next game. Like forgetting that game might be better for us going to the next game. I don't think not remembering it as well and escaping 999 a bit. One of the go-to ones was always like people keep saying like, "Give me an example of a what you call a well-written mystery." It's like.
Sherlock Holmes.
I'm like, you don't understand the concept of a mystery? Like people want you to do homework for them, which is fascinating. Yeah. Because for the record, I think that 99 is a terrible mystery, and that's the point. And the game's supposed to be a mystery.
It's a mystery. Like the point, it's a mystery with the most conveniences ever.
Not even conveniences. It contradicts itself on a regular basis and has straight up like
that's time travel.
Details.
It's always going to be that way.
There's also because I will wave my hand at time travel so hard and just be like, fine, whatever. There's so much other shit. Yeah, like weird inconsistencies and like. Or just things that like even if they can make sense technically, like you can make up a fan fiction explanation of what happens. You just you're sitting there like I don't the game never addressed it.
No.
Like, remember the body?
Which, the
captain body, specifically.
Yeah, the captain.
It's like, okay, that guy got murdered by that guy, but what if I take the path where that guy doesn't go there? Never gets mentioned. I'm like, they never mentioned they found a person?
Yeah.
Did they kill him too?
I guess they
it's
did.
Like, it's such a weird inconsistency.
Well, I think if
with.
you don't go, it's June who goes in that room, isn't it?
I don't know.
And I think June probably kills the body because she knows who it is.
It reminds me of how in many cases stories just added way later. Like we had, like this was an argument we had with you and Joe and me about Amnesia.
Oh,
and
I
was right because I'm always right. Because
wow.
No, I was right because I listened to a lot of video game podcasts and I've just heard people talk about game design a lot, and so I was just used to the idea that like story often comes later in the process of a game's development.
Yeah.
But you guys were like, no, that's impossible. Because I was talking about how like they would totally like make like the levels and a bunch of assets and shit like that and the gameplay concepts and test how the game would work well before they would actually make like the story for a game like Amnesia.
Oh,
and you guys like, no, that's bullshit. And it's like, then I found an Escapist article that literally explains like, oh yeah, like like in the last year of development, we completely changed what decade it takes place in and what the entire story is. And I'm like, wow, that's incredibly specific to what I was trying to prove.
Yeah.
And 999 was like that too, where they'd have like the development stories where he just wanted to make like an escape room game where various people get like taken out or whatever, or a generic like Japanese death game crossed with an escape room. But then they're like, fuck it, we have to have a story because people only like games with stories.
Yeah.
So they just jammed a story in there and that made it fit.
That's where it got bad.
It's so overwritten while being like, because it's so long.
Yes.
Because like we had 52 episodes of it. Obviously, a lot of it is just us hanging out and talking.
Yeah.
Which for many people was the whole point of the series. Is that's why it was entertaining. Was the like us screwing around with it and stuff.
Leave your votes in the comments.
People that want to be immersive, just get through the game experience, were real mad.
Yeah.
But that's.
Tell us which one you want in the comments below, and we won't do it.
But
we're not here for you. We're here for us.
It's
you.
Just such an. It was amazing how much the game could talk, but the game.
Was it, Keith? Because I remember specifically it was amazing how much the game could talk, but not time travel at all.
Well, I mean, like, just
we could talk for 2-3 hours and the game would go, that was 5 minutes.
We're doing the
DBZ thing where it's like they're talking, but it's only been 5 minutes, and you're like, it's been 4 weeks of episodes. How the fuck did it be 5 minutes in the show? Like, you can't lie to me.
In Dragon Ball, haven't they come up with bullshit where they're like so powerful and fast now that the whole show's taking place over the course of 5 minutes now or something?
There's literally been a tournament, and I've been waiting 3 episodes for it to end because it said it's been 5 minutes, and literally like they've had full on backstory like explanations, and I was like, there's no way this is 5 minutes. Like, how fast are you talking? You have to be like...
Supposedly they're so powerful and fast now that the whole show's just taking place in fast forward, which raises questions of how they're able to speak and interact with like air to talk through it.
I guess
at each other.
That's stamina, man.
At
that's
this
like
point,
pure
the show
seems
like it's somehow moving faster than sound would.
I mean, at some point, I'm more concerned about how they even have time to like stop and wait for dust to clear. In 5 minutes, because it feels like I think in 5 minutes in the show,
because dust would never clear in that show.
No,
I don't know. Anyone that tries to explain modern Dragon Ball to me, it's impossible. I can't accept any of the answers.
I just want martial arts tournaments. I don't care about fucking like space adventures, and I don't know why it keeps doing it. I just want to go back to like Goku punching a guy in the face, and then it turns into like a really big deal for like a couple episodes.
He just punches a dude at the club, and then escalates from there.
Yeah, I miss those days. Like Goku punched an Indian once, and it was like a thing, and it was funny. And then now
you're talking about like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball.
Yeah, like they would just like sit in an arena and some blonde guy would be like, yo,
but that wasn't a world-changing event of a show.
Yeah, sorry.
So now we had to hold on to the Frieza saga for the next 500 years.
That's not true. I mean, King Piccolo showed up and then Goku beat his ass.
No, I mean real life.
Oh.
Like,
yeah.
Like Dragon Ball coming out and then having the Frieza saga was like a worldwide thing in media.
I mean,
Like,
it was interesting.
It captured the imagination of a billion 12-year-olds.
I don't think it captured their imagination. I think they
of a billion 12-year-olds, yes.
I don't think. I think they
and
just.
so now
really,
the show has to be that forever on loop.
I think it was just really cool how Goku yelled for like 2 episodes. Like, I think that's what people liked. People were excited. They were like, "Whoa!" He was yelling for like 2 episodes. That was really hype.
Yeah, the 999 paradox is that despite all the issues that can be arisen with the story, it actually has surprisingly few plot holes, but only because it has a bullshit explanation for why nothing can be a plot hole.
Oh yeah.
That fucking self-confirmation statement, which I hate. Like
999 does its best. It tries, but it ultimately fails.
It's a good example of how literally any story could write that it's not a plot hole.
Yeah.
Any story can write itself to not have plot holes by just saying everything had to happen that way because reasons.
Yeah.
999 pulls.
999 literally.
And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
999 literally says it has to happen exactly how it happened or else it could never happen. And it's like, wow, that's a convenience if I've ever heard one. Like,
This is a basic concept in storytelling of like a setup
and a payoff. Yeah.
And the payoff can be anything. That's like that,
not in 999's case.
Like if you're really bad at writing a mystery, then every payoff will be part of the answer of the mystery over and over again.
Jesus Christ, that's a bad mystery.
That's when mysteries are bad. Is when you can literally tell what's going to happen. Literally every scene is just setting up the answer over and over again. Whereas like you watch like CSI and stuff like that, there will be red herrings. They look into that thing and oh no, they'd go ask some dude a thing and it just dead end or whatever the hell.
It's still better than Case Closed.
Like a good example of that was actually in Jessica Jones this season. There's a part where like was it Trisha's like boyfriend / potential fiance, like she leaves the room and all the computer with all the files about the case that they've been working on in the show is there, and he's all like USB device. he puts in a USB thumbnail and everything while she's gone, and it's like, oh, what's he gonna do? And it turns out that she was like he was downloading her entire contacts list so he could bring all of them in for an engagement party. But it's like they leave that, but like there's a setup and a payoff.
So
and
trying to make
a suggestion that it might be like, is he working for the guys,
my God.
Or is he going to steal the case from her and get all the credit for solving it? Or like there's so many directions that can go in, and it goes in an unexpected direction, but it's still like a setup and a payoff.
Yeah.
And the problem is at 999,
every setup was for the payoff of the ending.
Not even that. A lot of the setups go nowhere.
Well,
like there's a lot of things that they just bring up.
They're always for the ending. They have to go that way.
There's a lot of moments where they'll stop you dead in your tracks in the middle of a deadly situation where everyone's going to die and talk to you for 20 minutes about something that's irrelevant to everything, and then it never comes up again. And it's like some of it's setting up for like the sequel or something or other nonsense things. And it's like, why are we talking about this right now?
I mean, we still never figured out the mummy.
It's what I gave. Like you got. Was it? We had this talk about this with you and Joe and me about The Hobbit, because I was of the opinion that Radagast should literally be deleted from the movie. Because
I don't think he should.
I'm like, Radagast is all right. Guess what? He never does anything.
He was fun.
Like he literally doesn't.
I mean,
I was like, why are we spending time with Radagast?
The dude had a bird in his beard. That's hilarious.
I like Radagast.
He's awesome.
But I'm like, I was like, okay, maybe he'll do something in the next movie. Which at the time that was the assumption because only the first movie was out so far. So we're like, okay, so Radagast must do something in the second movie or something, and that's why they set him up in the first one, and he just wastes our time in the first one. But instead, the trilogy as a whole just forgets that Radagast exists, just like how they forgot the Arkenstone exists.
That's okay.
You know about that, right?
Radagast is in a pocket somewhere.
You know about the Arkenstone, right?
Yeah.
How it just ends with him putting it into his coat and then it disappears from the movie, even though it was the entire focal point of the trilogy was they got to get the Arkenstone.
That's what happened with Radagast.
He got
put into a pocket.
It's like Lord of the Rings forgot the ring existed, is them forgetting about the Arkenstone. Like, that's how crazy that is.
I mean, last I checked, the important thing was killing Smaug.
No. He just happened to be in the way.
Oh, was that not the plot?
He's the most memorable part of the entire story.
I remember,
he was just in the way.
I remember Taking Back the Dwarven City was the actual plot of The Hobbit. Right? That's why they went on the journey.
They were there to take the Arkenstone.
No.
The leader of the dwarf group wanted the Arkenstone.
No, I think it was a turn back on the foundry to get the gold running again. Yeah, to get the smithing.
But the Arkenstone.
No.
The Arkenstone.
It was the town. We had to get the trade back with the town. That's why we went on the journey, was to make sure that the town had dwarven trade again.
I think he's being facetious.
No. I think it was about the fight. I think
the point of the Hobbit trilogy was to get kidnapped by spiders for 5 minutes.
Yes.
That's the
there
point of the whole trilogy.
That was the whole point of the trilogy.
Oh, man.
Look, I'm just saying.
Radagast is one of those setup and payoff situations where, like, you could easily,
What is the payoff? What was the payoff of Radagast?
That's the thing, is, like, because the movies came out once a year, people just didn't notice there wasn't a payoff. It's like, oh, yeah, Radagast was supposed to do something?
The sad tale of Radagast. The man
Somebody
who just
really
vanished.
liked that character from the Silmarillion or something and wanted to spend time with them, so they just jammed him in there.
I don't even know where he came from. Was he part of like an encyclopedia that Tolkien wrote and was like, here's some characters I wish I had time to put in my books? And someone was like, Radagast, that guy's going in my movie. I don't know what Peter Jackson does every day in his life, but I'm assuming he like is surrounded by Tolkien books. Like, I think he just lives in a book that's written by Tolkien.
Yeah.
And I think he just knows why that character's there and why he didn't show up after the first movie. And I'm just going to believe him. I'm going to just put my faith in him.
I've lost track of where I was so hard.
But 999 is a bad game in terms of plot. It doesn't have a good plot.
I'm trying to slowly escape it. It's just...
Keith, would you say there's zero escape from this?
The issue is that the game sets up like 500 things and you're like, okay, it's going to be answer time when this game ends.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't.
No.
Instead, a whole new thing gets pulled out of their ass that explains the whole game.
Yeah.
And then in one of the most appalling endings ever, they have the villain tied up in a trunk and like
willing to talk.
Yeah, and he's being all megalomaniacal, like, I'm gonna tell my master plan now that I've been caught because it was my life work and all this shit. And they gag him.
Yeah.
At one point, they ungag him to ask him one question, and halfway through his answer, he's like, boring, and they just close it again, like fucking Scott Pilgrim checking his mail. It's like, you can't do this to me. It's the ending of the game. It's time to get answers. And I think the real answer is that I feel like the writer didn't have answers.
No.
So they just like,
yeah, don't
let's not call attention to how we don't have answers for half the shit happening in this game.
Guys, there's a mummy on the side of the road. We don't have time to listen to answers. Look at that mummy.
Like, I carefully listened to the audience, and I read their comments.
Yeah.
And I've talked to them over and over again for a long time now.
Yeah.
And none of them are compelling.
No.
Like, I was like, okay, tell me why I'm wrong. I can't wait. Let's do this. And I'm like, no. No. You're wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't have a fucking horse in the game. Like, I don't need 999 to be bad. I wanted it to be good. I was excited about playing it. I had fun playing it the whole time through, despite it, because I'm one of those people that can just flip a switch and just
not care.
No, I can just flip the switch and enjoy doing a let's play of the game for the other reason.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, if Alone in the Dark started out good, but then became Alone in the Dark like 2 hours in, I could just like flink, and like now it's this game, which is that's what happened with Remothered.
Yeah,
like we were like, all right, we're gonna play a good game and have some fun. We're like, this is a bad game. Let's keep going. Like, this is like, we can do both. That's been our kind of thing we've done since like 2011.
Oh, it's always a joy when a game turns bad.
So there's just eventually in 999, there's just like a flip switch moment. We're like, oh, okay, I get it now. We're here.
It sounds like robotic, where you're just like
and
playing the game.
Never was able to flip the switch back. For me, the flip moment, like the switch was we got our first ending,
submarine,
which made no sense.
Yes.
And it gave us no information. I was like, okay, I guess this is the worst possible ending or something.
It was.
But that wasn't the flipping point yet.
Oh,
it was when we met Akane.
Oh,
what was funny is we spent the whole first playthrough like, we're not going to talk to Akane. I mean, no, sorry, we're going to protect Akane and we're going to go with Akane, and then we somehow never went with her a single time in any room because there was always some reason.
No.
Like, we don't want to take her with the body and stuff, things like that.
No, I think there wasn't a choice the first time.
There's just there was a lot of times where you could definitely go with Akane.
There wasn't a time where we could bring her with us to the body. We wanted to check out the body.
Wanted to check out the body, but she's like, ee!
Yeah, so we were like, we'll meet up with her later, and we never did.
We never did a single room with her the entire first chunk of the game.
Then she died.
But after the first ending, just non-stop, totally insufferable Akane, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And that's when it started to become really clear that, like, because she would like practically just like turn to the camera and talk directly to the camera about like Ice 9 or something. I'm like, why are you talking about this? I'm like, oh, they're just this is their idea of setting up story elements because they don't know how. like they just don't know how.
They highlighted it for you. It was Ice 9 in yellow.
And like the concept of setup and payoff being interwoven into the story in an elegant way where you don't necessarily know which things are being set up and or not and stuff like that is so universal and well done across the board in so many things that like having to explain it to somebody is actually weird.
Oh yeah, like trying to explain.
I'm like all the media you watch, I hope. Like, do you only watch media that doesn't make any sense?
I mean, it's possible.
Like, I've actually been really impressed by season 2 of Jessica Jones, where just continuously there's just like little elements that set up here and there that are like, oh shit, that's coming up again. Like, oh, they weren't that wasn't just like a character trait or whatever the fuck. Like, there's like so many little things happening in the first episodes that are setting up plot points that'll happen later in the season.
Okay.
And it's like, oh shit, like it's like they had a plan and knew what they were doing.
Or someone at least kept track.
Yeah.
As they were going along.
And that stuff's neat. And I'm happy when that stuff works.
I mean, people get excited about that because they're like, I remember that. I was there for that. And then they can see it happen and they're like, oh, I love knowing what's gonna happen before it happens.
And we talked about this a little bit during to be clear, setup and payoff does not mean that you have to like set up exactly what will happen in the end and like everything has to accomplish something necessarily.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be relevant to the plot, the main overarching plot. It just has to go somewhere.
They're gonna be totally like they're gonna be red herrings where a thing gets set up and then like when you learn more about it later, it's just there. For example,
exactly.
And other stuff. And also, plans can just fail, and things that are supposed to do a thing can do not that thing.
Yeah, reality is not set in stone,
and that's what makes that's how you get the story to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's a way to fail.
Yeah,
there's a specific way to fail, and the way to fail is not grandiose in that sense. So you don't have to like spin for hours and hours going it's failing.
I'm talking about all this stuff, and like people might think that like it contradicts what I say about like The Last Jedi, for example. Well, I'm like, oh, those people have a plan that completely fails. Yeah, it's like because that's also an acceptable outcome.
I mean, that's what I mean by 999 is that when you watch Ace's plan fail, it's like he's spinning and spinning and spinning, where he's like, oh, I can't believe it's all going downhill, and it's like, okay, look, you fucked up, you killed everybody that was on your team. I don't know how you did it, but you did. So like, just deal with it.
The number of conveniences in that game.
Killed 3 people that were all on his team, and he had no idea that 2 of them were. Somehow. He
knew 2 of them were on his team.
No. Did he know the captain was?
He knew the captain was on his team. He knew about 9 and the captain. He killed the captain because he identified him.
Oh, right.
But there was also the really absurd one where he somehow killed a dude that who knew who he was, but I guess just didn't make a single sound to make his voice recognizable or anything in the entire scuffle.
He didn't even say like, ow, why did you push me?
Yeah, or like just no reaction of any kind.
Like nothing at all would signify him to be that guy. He was just like, I hope you know it's me by my face, which I happen to look like Snake.
Or just the idea, like I don't think face blindness is nearly that effective.
I don't think so either.
Like they turned face blindness in that game into like an anti-superpower.
Like face blindness was serious with this guy.
Yeah,
I think I don't think he even knows what he looks like.
It's so debilitating you couldn't even be in society.
Yeah, no. I don't, how do you even know if you're talking to a person? Because like, what does he even see faces as?
Like, I know that face blindness exists as a concept, but in this game, it's so
I thought it was
extreme. That he's like an instantly manipulatable child. Like you could just direct him at anyone and get him to kill that person for the wrong reasons. Just easily. And
you just assume it's based on clothing, which is weird. It's also weird because he how did he know 9? I still can't remember how he knew 9 was 9.
They talked to each other. 9 just introduced himself.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, 9 and Captain just admitted who they were, and Ace was like, "Well, I don't want them to out me, so die." I'm like, I don't know if that was the best approach.
But Ace knew that 9 was being genuine. He was just hoping that 9 was not just 0 lying to him.
If you have the right details, you could probably prove who you are and stuff like that. But also,
wouldn't 0 know those right details?
Just that Ace needs specific shit to happen in the story in order for him to succeed. Yeah. And he has a clear lackey he can use here, and he's like, I'm gonna kill him immediately.
Nah, I don't want lackeys. Lackeys are for losers.
It's you have an edge if you have an ally in here, because half these people don't know who each other are or secretly do.
Also, what a really shitty way to trick somebody. Like, I thought 9 was the guy who built the traps. And then he convinced 9 that the traps were changed. And I was like, well, I mean, how did you convince the guy who built them that they were changed? He should know if they were changed or not. What, he think 0 changed his own traps? Like, wouldn't he know?
Was so frustrating.
Would you really take that risk when you know that the end result could be death?
One of the things that got so frustrating was just the fact that the game had, like, it just lied to you.
Yeah.
It just lied to you about how the death game works.
Oh yeah, the death
and
death game
through omission are also a lie, by the way. But like it's straight up like it's like Rush Hour with like Jackie Chan secretly speaking English.
Oh,
he's like, well, you didn't ask if I spoke English. And I'm like, the fuck.
It's implied, Jackie.
It's like there's a clear death game being set up with rules, and it makes sense. And they contradict anything that you think about how the game works. But also, by the end, they did just lie to you.
Yeah. The numbers didn't mean anything.
Like, people kept going, they technically didn't say that. They technically didn't say that your wrist thing has to match your actual number. And all these other bullshit.
But like, how would you know otherwise? There's
just the dumbest things people said.
There's like no idea that me as the player would know my number is not 5 unless
or of course the part where those two people's numbers being switched ultimately didn't even affect the story. It was just pointless. Because ooh, a twist. But by the end, like they did straight up lie to you because they made a fucking pun. Remember?
Did they? Oh,
the final lie was a Japanese pun about the number 9, which doesn't work in English, which means they did just lie to you about how the game works.
I forgot about that. I tried to just forget a lot of stuff about 999.
I really just pray that Zero Escape just like learned from a bunch of mistakes and stuff like that.
I mean, I've heard otherwise. I've heard it gets better.
The second one, the one we're getting to, is supposed to be the best one.
And you know what that means?
The third one's supposed to be the worst one.
Who's saying that though?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But also, at least it'll be 3D now. That means they'll animate.
I don't give a shit about 3D.
Because like everyone was just standing still all the time. And
I thought it's still 2D.
That got old after 50 years. 50 episodes.
Aren't they still?
Both of the next games are 3D.
Like 3D models?
Characters. They have character models and cutscenes, and they animate.
Is it like good, like high budget, or is it
I don't know, but it's not a 2-dimensional portrait originally drawn for the DS that's scaled up and just sitting there on the screen.
Wait, aren't all these games made for the DS?
No, the second game was made for the Vita.
Right.
Got that high def quality of being able to have Vita graphics.
So you can have
and
it look
the third game was made for the PS4 and the PC.
Okay, that will look the best.
Yeah,
the second one's going to look like PS1 shit. So that'll be fine.
But it's 3D, which means it'll animate.
That's
instead of like all these goddamn scenes we were getting where it's like
we have no idea where anybody is.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, like the first game had like chase scenes where like people would run.
Oh,
like, remember when Clover and Lotus and Santa were like racing for a door, and we're like, who get past where to get? Sure, it'd be nice to have a cutscene for this.
If only we knew how this worked out. Yeah, because people were running for doors and
whenever
they couldn't make
to show anything special, they had to draw an entire special art piece just for that scene. That was a freeze frame, just to kind of try to express the action happening.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea.
So having it in 3D would be is nice. And maybe now that the cats, I'm hoping. In particular, I'm hoping that the supernatural element of the first game will just be like cats out of the bag for that second game, and the characters just learn about it at the beginning.
Oh,
and
yeah.
are using it on purpose or something.
I mean,
if the fucking game ends with like the twist being the same revelation, like, by the way, the first game thing's still a thing.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? And then it's like, wow. Great.
And everyone in the cast turns into Rich Evans. Like,
I can't wait. Good. But so originally the plan, because this whole discussion's a mess, we're just going in circles
still
anyway.
About 999.
The original thing is that I was giving Andrew time to recover.
Yes.
I was going to give him all the time he wanted. And we'd get back to it.
Well, probably next week.
But Andrew's been talking about moving. So now it's like, gotta get the shit done now. you just gave us a time limit.
I mean, I'm not going to be moving this month, I can assure you. So we've got plenty of time.
999, which is shorter than the second game, took us 52 episodes.
Okay, well, 52 episodes and a lot of wasting time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you gotta start fairly in advance to get through the 2 games in time. Even over a 6-month break.
We'll get through them.
It might take, because each game might take 2 months.
No way.
It might.
No way.
The first game took us not 2 months.
But we were also recording it efficiently.
We were recording it efficiently, and we're also juggling with the Dark Souls series.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get it done.
I'm confident.
We're doing this.
I'm confident we'll get it done.
We're doing this.
I won't blow my voice out anymore.
So look forward to this at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when. We might record the entire thing before we air any of it, or it might start airing it midway through or something.
I think probably midway through, because that was what happened last time, was that we got consistent, and once we felt like, okay, we're doing this every week, we'll always be ahead of ourselves, then we did it. And maybe
subscribe to Andrew's channel, because he might air it first.
Probably not.
I have a lot of backlog of like Dark Souls and Salt and Sanctuary to get through still, and Dark Messiah before I even think about that, and that might be like a few months of just uploading those.
Yeah.
Backlog.
I would, I'll probably wait till you upload it, because otherwise people are going to spoil it, and I just don't want to.
That's the main reason I talk about not uploading it right away.
Yeah.
There's the normal concern, which is, what if we don't record a week's worth of content in a given week? Then it doesn't reach around to the next session, especially with the time it takes for us to transfer videos and edit it and everything.
Yada.
You need to overlap, but also the people that love the game, their go-to way of trying to defend the game is to immediately
justify it by spoiling it.
Yeah, they immediately spoil the game. Like if you point out that seems dumb and weird, then they're like, well, actually, here's the entire ending of the game. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's like we were able to dodge spoilers of
999
through the entire time because we were just so far ahead of the audience.
We were so far ahead that they were trying to spoil the first ending, and it was like, nice try,
we would
suckers.
do a thing, and they would immediately spoil something based on what we said. That would then happen 15 episodes later, but we were like 25 episodes ahead and stuff like we were some
all according to Kekaku shit. And just you thought you spoiled the ending for us, but we already knew the ending all along.
Yeah, people would have spoiled the submarine ending before we got to it, because they tried to, but we got the submarine ending before the game even ended. Before the game even aired, I mean. Yeah,
we already had finished the second ending by the time we aired the first video. But I think it was within the first couple of videos, someone was like, here's the ending. And you're like,
to make the whole series work, it kind of has to just be like a blind thing where we just do it ourselves.
If we know the ending, it's fucked, because then it's not as fun.
If you liked the 999 series, which a lot of you guys did, people were really I mean like our series, like the videos.
I know
because there's people that were saying that it was making their day each day, and they were so into it.
Just say, if you like 999, you should probably reassess.
It's also continually the most requested playthrough.
Zero Escape.
Yes.
Why?
I get asked about when Zero Escape's happening every week.
Are you? Well, that's Tokyo Jungle for me, but
but like that,
and I've already answered that.
Nothing else is like that.
Really?
No.
Not even
Dark Souls Remaster or Undertale or any of the other things in the background. Not
Undertale? I feel like
it's Zero Escape.
Isn't Undertale your Tokyo Jungle?
They just can't wait for the thing. It's like, if you've already gone to the first one and you hated it, fucking learn from your mistakes. And if you're into it, it'll be coming sometime. We're working on it.
We
have a time limit now. We'll figure it out.
Time after time.
Time after time.
So let's do questions.
Did we really talk about 999 for 40 minutes?
Yeah, we did, actually. Well, we talked about Radagast,
What's wrong with us? We just opened with hey, spoilers for a game.
Well, for a game that we've...
Go watch 999 if you haven't yet. And if it seems like a mistake, then stop. And then you're gonna need the background information pretty soon, and maybe not that soon, but you start watching it now, you might be done in time for when we start airing Zero Escape.
Or just go play it yourself.
Yeah,
it'll take about as much time,
but they'll know it'll go so much faster to play yourself.
Yeah,
that playthrough was so much longer just because we were talking to each other the whole time and stuff like that. What's funny is I actually want to address one of the common comments, because one of the things that comes up sometimes is people will be like, Keith would have enjoyed this if Andrew wasn't there. If he just played it himself and stuff like that.
Would you have? I guess I should apologize. I didn't realize I ruined it for you so much.
I enjoyed the game significantly more because you were there. Because
Keith hates visual novels. He would have not sat through a fucking long.
I might have gone through it, because I've gotten through.
You know what I mean? You would have been like, ugh, fuck this.
It's like I got through Masquerada, which is it's like a CRPG that's actually just like a visual novel, basically, because you don't ever explore or go around anywhere. It's just you going through a bunch of linear fights and story happens.
They're just telling you,
yeah. But like I've gone through that, and I've gone through Pyre is in many ways kind of like a visual novel that's punctuated by NBA Jam games.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit more engaging.
Yeah, but it's but you're still talking about like 25 minutes of reading, then like 3 minutes of basketball. Basically, is what that game is.
Yeah,
that's a really cool game, by the way. But
even though we just spoiled the whole mystery of it,
of Pyre.
Yeah, isn't the whole mystery that you don't know it's fucking NBA Jam?
No, that was not intended.
Oh,
there's a bunch of cool shit you could spoil about that game. That was just me not looking into the game at all.
Oh,
and it's a really common misconception because if you look at this like on Steam, it's categorized as a turn-based strategy game.
Okay,
by the audience.
Yes,
because they're judging it by the cutscenes, and I mean like the pictures of it, and like, oh well, it's from the makers of Bastion and Transistor, and it's an isometric game, and you clearly have a party of people, and so if you have a party,
think Steam would fix that.
No, because Steam doesn't fix anything. Have you seen Gynophobia? Remember that game?
I mean, I
think it's still on sale on Steam.
I was there, Keith.
Yeah,
I was there for that.
I think that's still on sale there.
I still have Gynophobia.
But like that was the first mistake I made. Is like, oh, it's a party-based game and it's isometric. It must be like a turn-based strategy game because otherwise, how would you control your whole party? And it's fucking NBA Jam.
Well, that's how you control your own party.
And I was like, oh, fuck. I thought I was playing a mini game that teaches me the controls at the beginning of the game.
Come on, and slam.
Like at the beginning of the game, I thought I was playing a mini game that teaches you controls a little bit.
Oh.
But instead, I was like, oh, no, the game's going to be like this for the rest of the game.
Oh, fun.
And it kept getting more interesting and cool and layering mechanics on it. But like, oh, this game's a sports game. It's because I didn't want to spoil the game for myself, so I just didn't come across the entire genre.
I mean, that's impressive. You didn't come across the entire genre of NBA Jam.
No, I just mean like I never came across what the genre of the game was because I was trying to spoil myself.
I was like, how did you avoid NBA Jam? Like,
I've never been more blindsided by a game.
You can't just not know what basketball is.
It's like up there with playing Undertale and finding out the combat is bullet hell. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Excuse me? You're what?
I get that. That's normal.
But like my issue is that like without another person to talk to, it would be like a problem I had recently in Cube 2. I've been playing Cube 2 lately. I got a pre-release copy. I've almost.
I saw you got that. I was like, oh man, I should.
It is better than Cube. It's a good game.
Could they make it worse than Cube? I don't know if that's
But like what happened is somebody said a thing in the story, and I was like, that seems to contradict all the shit you were saying, and I have the moment of like, is that a thing I should be thinking about, or is that like am I just misremembering something? Like, I don't know. And like, but you know where that discussion goes when you're alone?
Yeah,
it goes there, and then you're like, I don't know, and then you move forward.
Yeah,
because that's all you can do.
Yeah,
there's no one to talk to and bounce ideas off. Like the two of us were collectively remembering different chunks of the story and piecing things together, and we were like, I wish we could do a bunch of actually good mystery games too, because like we were like fucking game for solving this shit.
You want to do Professor Layton? What the fuck?
I don't know if that's a mystery game necessarily.
It's a puzzle mystery.
Yeah, but no, I mean like solve, like as in like taking in story information and like figuring out where it's going and shit. Because we were like fucking game.
Do you want to read
we were taking notes. We were doing math. We were fucking like theorizing.
Do you want to read a Sherlock Holmes book on the fucking podcast and do a mystery that way?
I just mean like we were into it. Like how you look at it, we were invested.
I like mysteries.
Yeah,
I'm invested in mysteries.
We were both fully invested in that playthrough and engaged in a way that I would not have been alone, because I couldn't bounce any ideas off somebody, and I would just be sitting there like, all right, well, I mean, game's not going to finish itself. Because that's how you get to the game, is you just keep pressing A and make the next dialogue play over and over again.
Very, very motivational.
And just the story just happens at you. And it was funny because one of the first comments we got was somebody being worried that since I was playing with you, that like
I was going to like ruin it for you or something.
They were worried that we weren't going to like pay any attention to the story and not theorize enough.
Yeah,
the irony is that we paid too much attention because we were so into it that we had all the shit figured up and all these expectations and ideas of what was going to happen.
We figured out too much before we.
Yeah,
I think we figured out like most of it by the third ending.
So by the time we got to by the time we got to the ending, we were like
impatient.
We were like those like lore theorist obsessive types that freak out about like Rey's parents in Force Awakens, and then they had Last Jedi, and like this movie ruined everything because we were invested. Because we were into it.
Yeah, we were pretty into it.
We didn't think it was good, but we were like, we're fucking doing this. We're solving this. That guy's doing that thing, and the shit's going down, and we're piecing it together.
I mean,
that could have not gone better.
Well, it can. We have 2 more games.
Bullshit. So if you pay too much attention, then it all falls apart. And to the point where people in the audience that like the game but played it alone and didn't have to, and because it's a niche game, you don't talk about it with anybody because there's no one to talk to it about. So you just have, it's like me reading a book. And like I just read the book. I'm like, all right, I got to the book, and like, I feel this and that, but like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk to anyone about it because no one will have also read the book generally.
Yeah, that's what
But like those people are like, oh my god, you're opening my eyes to so much shit. And like we were like they were realizing how dumb the game was in real time because they hadn't discussed it with anyone, and so all these things hadn't been pointed out to them yet.
And so they're just sitting there.
We had converts. Like we had converts where people were realizing like, oh shit, this game's a mess.
We're opening their eyes.
I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's normal. I mean, I do that with me and Naya have like a book club between just both of us, and we do that because that way it's easier to like at least talking to somebody about a book, because otherwise you're in that position of like, I'll just accept everything that's thrown at me because what am I going to do otherwise?
It's hard to process it without being able to talk to somebody about it. Then when you're talking about it, you realize things, not even just what people saying to you, but also you realize things while you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And that stuff's really like that happened to me. That was one of the things that was cathartic and interesting about doing the Mass Effect spoiler casts.
Yeah, as you're writing it out.
I was not even writing it out because I'm just talking. It's all those whole podcasts. Like I sometimes had some bulletproof notes, and then I wouldn't even go through them, and I would just completely diverge anyway. But talking about stuff in the podcast form made me realize things about like how like realizing that Ashley's right the whole time, and she basically tells you what the plot of the series is going to be. And then everyone's like, Ashley's a racist. I don't like her. And she's literally telling you the plot of Mass Effect 3 in the first game. Yeah. It's like, yeah, by the way, the moment anything bad's going to happen, everyone's going to cower away and not help each other. Because, you know, like, you get attacked by a bear. Like, you love your dog, but you want to live. So that's the story she tells about like having the dog die against the bear so you can escape.
Yeah,
which is exactly what everyone does.
That's what the council does.
In the third game, everyone flees to their home planets and just helps their own people and leaves everyone else to die. And you have to force everyone to work together. It's
guess what planet gets attacked first? Humanity. And of course, no one comes to help out the race that saved Mass Effect twice.
But like it can go both ways. Just being able to discuss people can make you realize how good something is or how bad something is.
Being able to
once you process it.
I think it's just the act of talking about something makes your brain go through it look at it in a different way.
Because you have to present it to the idea as a intelligible concept to another person.
Yeah,
and then at the same time you might be thinking about it in that way for the first time.
It's like that old joke of explain it like you're talking to a caveman.
Yeah,
and you try to explain something, you're like, wow, this does sound really fucking dumb.
But also, like, if you just go through something blindly, if you just sit through it, a lot of media is just designed to just be
consumed,
passively consumed. Yeah. Like you don't think about it all.
Exactly.
But the moment you think about it, you're like, that thing, what the fuck, that thing. And like we had an instance of that on the podcast with the boat from Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah.
Like it's literally the.
Like, where did the boat go?
And
still, never forget, never forgive. Where is that boat?
It's something that Folding Ideas goes heavy on, and when he does his video about Suicide Squad, is that generally a scene has like the pivotal object that the scene is about.
That's a purpose.
Yeah. And at the end of Suicide Squad, it's the heart.
Oh, yeah.
And the movie just forgets the heart exists.
Oops.
And then everyone's teleporting around the room, and it's like, what is the scene? And we had that with Wonder Woman, where it's like, okay, the entire point of Wonder Woman in the story is that they're an isolated society.
The entire point of this entire plot was that someone showed up to an isolated island and that no one could tell anybody else where that isolated island was, because that was the whole point of this Amazon island. It's supposed to be a secret. Except for the Nazis who just vanished forever.
Yeah, the Amazons live in a bubble.
Yeah.
And if you randomly find the bubble, they kill you, I guess. Which is like, what a great policy.
Well, I think it's supposed to be like, there's supposed to be a storm.
But like the central thing of the entire... Well, what happened in the movie is that they were chasing Captain Kirk. They were chasing Captain Kirk into the bubble.
Okay.
And that's how they found the bubble, is because Captain Kirk encountered the bubble.
He flew in.
But the boat is offloading troops to chase Captain Kirk onto the island, and they're going to attack him. And they're going to go get that spy or whatever, because he's got intel. Like, okay, cool. Go get Captain Kirk. Then the Amazons fight some Nazis. Not Nazis.
No, they fight
World War One.
It's Germans. Just German. No, I thought they were not.
No,
I thought they were Nazis.
No, World War One.
Was it World War One?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's the whole thing, is like.
Oh right.
That's the
so
bittersweet irony of the whole ending, is like, and now we fixed the world. It's like, there's gonna be a worse one soon. There's gonna be a way worse one soon. I'm sorry.
And spoiler alert, she doesn't stop it.
I don't think she stopped World War II.
No.
Whoops.
Considering that's when Captain America was made.
Oh god. Can't wait for the gritty sequel to Wonder Woman where he finds out she caused World War II or something.
Ooh, Batman. Batman's like, look what you've done.
No,
shows a better door with fucking like a Holocaust stamp and is like, this was you. Like you did this.
The central thing of that whole scene was that boat. Like,
yeah,
that's where all of the I keep wanting to say Nazi. It's where the World War One German soldiers were coming from.
Every time Germany was in war,
they were all coming in and attacking.
Yeah,
and then you never see it again.
No, it vanishes. It's literally at a rock, and then the next scene, the rock is there, but the boat's not there.
The boat, yeah, and all you need is one scene.
Just the boat sinking.
Yeah,
I just need to know the boat blew up.
You just need like the camera needs to focus on the boat in any moment where it's just like, oh, look, it's sinking.
But it didn't, because the Amazons had no long-range weaponry. They were stuck on horses and fucking arrows. They had no means to fight.
So they're about to kill Captain Kirk because he knows about the island. But as far as the audience can tell, it seems like that boat just left.
It's gone.
Soldiers and they have like data and everything, and like, it's right here.
Yeah.
Whereas
literally.
I don't think Kirk even knew where he was. I don't think he could find it again if he wanted to.
Kirk not only did not have a map of where he was, he had no idea what was even going on. But the Nazis were like the Germans were full on like, we're the bad guys, we know where this is, and we're leaving on a boat. And like Kirk was like, I have no means to leave, I have no map, and I have no idea where I am. And he's like, and I'm a good guy, I just want to go home.
Despite this entire story being about how militantly isolationist they are, they just don't bother addressing what happened to that boat. And I've been told apparently the novelization of the book, novelization of the movie, apparently says that it like hits a rock
or something and sinks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fuck you. I'm not going to believe that for a second. The Germans took the map and they knew where it was.
What I'm saying here thinking is like, that's all you had to show.
Yeah. I think that was what that scene was supposed to be when the boat was getting close to the rock. I think
but they just didn't show it.
No, they didn't show it.
All you have to do, you don't even have to even like.
You know what I bet it is? I bet they didn't have enough like B footage of an empty ocean.
Or something?
No, I think they had like empty ocean footage and they didn't have enough of it to show the boat crashing and sinking.
All you need is that Titanic scene.
Yeah,
the underwater scene, the underwater shot of the Titanic hitting the iceberg. It just cuts
back to a boat that's sinking underwater, and you're like, "How did that happen? I don't care. It's sinking now." Like
you just need one shot of a hole hitting a rock.
Oh yeah,
and then it's ruptured. You're like, okay, the boat's sinking.
I'm imagining they just actually take the scene from Titanic from the inside when the fucking iceberg's hitting the inside of the boat, and they just show that scene where the people are running inside and they're like, oh, it's water's spilling in. And you're just supposed to believe that that's happening in like right now.
Like that's an example of a thing that comes up because you're talking about a thing and you realize what's happening and it's saying like, oh fuck,
yeah,
and stuff like that. And that can go both ways. That can be like, oh shit, this is amazing, they even did that detail, look at all the cool shit that happened. Or it could be just like, oh no, I missed all that mess.
Yeah, some people probably did. Some people probably.
It's like when people make that thing like, here's the crucial mistake in this movie that ruins the whole movie.
I'll admit, I went into Wonder Woman looking very, very close at it because I wanted it to be a bad movie, and I did not. I was not spoiled. It was a bad movie.
I had no right time until the ending was just like every shitty ending for every superhero movie.
That ending was worse than anything ever. The whole movie was building up this like, I'm a real person and I'm learning how to be a real person in the real world.
And then
the ending was like, everything is about comic books, and it's like, why are you here?
I just hate every superhero movie that ends with like,
supervillain
guy punches other person, oh
dead.
No, breaking through the asphalt because of how strong the punch was. Like I saw Sucker Punch fucking 10 years ago, and also Dragon Ball Z. I was like, and then other punch the other guy, and oh wow, they fell over a bit, and then they just get up and they just keep hitting each other, and they fly around a bit from getting hit, but no one's getting hurt, and then magically one hit kills, and I'm like, Like that's how like 10 superhero movies have ended. Is just like
everyone else dies by the punch except for the hero.
Yeah.
And they're punched the exact same way with the exact same force. And the only thing that happens to them is they go like,
whereas like compare that to how much better the end of Civil War was, when it's like the Winter Soldier, Captain America, and Iron Man like ripping each other apart in that room. And it's like the armor's coming off and there's the shield. It's like everything like shit does what it's supposed to do at hitting the thing. Yeah. And it's like an actual choreographed fight like you would see in an action movie.
Well, it's like Star Wars too. Star Wars is like people will at the very least people look like they're making contact with each other.
Oh yeah, the whole entire
like it's a threat.
That whole fight, that whole lightsaber fight at the end of Last Jedi, was like shit's going down.
It's a threatening fight.
Like that's what action scenes are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Why does every superhero movie end with bullshit?
Because
I don't want to see Superman punch Batman through a building.
It's exciting.
Like nothing's happening. It doesn't mean anything.
It's exciting, Keith, to a kid. It's like watching Goku punch someone through a rock wall.
Every now and then people get self-aware of it too, because that's what happened with the Man of Steel.
Yeah,
because like they're just like soullessly punching people through buildings and shit, and it's just like no one's hurting anyone. This fight's accomplishing nothing.
Well, no,
but in the background, everyone's like, "You're killing the entire city. What are you doing?" I
was gonna say it accomplished a lot of real estate.
There's like hundreds of thousands of dead people now.
They're fine.
This is like 9/11 times 100. It's really bad.
Well, yeah, it's two giant man planes.
There were so many towers falling everywhere, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, Metropolis is just
that's not Superman. That's Indiana Jones.
Oh, well.
Shit. I mean, they sound similar. It was just horns and shit back then. It was every theme.
Yeah, every back then, they all had horns.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would say...
Like when I point out how Zod didn't have to die.
I mean, he had to die.
He had to die in the way that what he was doing, but like the scene's framed like the only way to save that family is to break his neck.
Oh yeah,
like if you're so strong you can point his head in any direction, which is what the process is of breaking someone's neck.
I mean,
then you could just make him not point his lasers at the family. The family that bafflingly won't just leave.
Also, Superman could just block it with his hand.
But yeah, he could block it with his hand. He could point his head not towards the family. The family could just fucking leave because you can't get trapped by an eye laser. Like they're not trapped in that scene.
What is Zod gonna do? He's gonna like do that thing where one of his eyes turns the other direction so the laser starts following.
Oh my god. I kind of want to see somebody that's like a superhero that like crosses his eyes with eye lasers.
Like and they just cross over and it turns like two different directions. And Superman's like, oh, I gotta get both of these.
Somebody has two eye beams, like Cyclops or whatever the fuck. But like, then like when he's like, well, you don't know my secret technique, and he combines the beams like Ghostbusters, and it's like a mega beam.
That'd be fantastic.
That always raised the question, like in Marvel vs. Capcom, how does Cyclops blast harder? Like he has the full laser beam, then he has the mega laser beam. I'm like,
no, they explained it. That's him just actually opening his eyes. Like when he does his regular beams, it's like him squinting, but when he's like doing the full on
it's like
beam,
that joke when somebody's like, how does Superman fly faster? Does he go? Does he like push a little further?
Well, he can't punch through.
Obviously, the hands aren't even doing it in the first place because he just hovers whenever he wants to. But I was gonna say, like, how does he faster?
He's not punching sonic booms.
Because like Flash runs faster by running faster. Well, but like, how does Superman? How do flying people fly faster?
I don't know how Flash runs faster at some point, because at some point his legs just turn into atoms, and he just kind of like floats. Like, I think I remember at one point his feet were just tornadoes, and I was like, I don't even know how this is fucking working anymore.
Like Sonic?
No, like he was like Red Tornado, where like his feet were literally just spinning in circles, and I was like, I don't even know how this is fucking working. But, I mean, Red Tornado's different. He's literally a robot, so...
Flash is a terrifying... He's so chipper and like happy all the time, and all of his storylines are horrifying. Like, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to break time continuum and like disintegrate, and I'm going to make copies of myself that die.
Yeah,
that were all alive. Then they were all copies of me. And I'm like, I don't. Okay, because they did that. They do that in the show.
Oh,
in the show, they go all in on all the weird shit Flash does in the comics. Like one by one, they're just making it down the list. But it's like such an upbeat show. But it's like an upbeat show that's like you made multiple clones of yourself that died.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, Naruto does that too. I mean,
but they had to Man of Steel it. Interestingly, Flash had to Man of Steel it, where like in Man of Steel, they clearly did not mean for it to be that fucked up, the ending.
Oh, yeah.
It was clearly an accident that they weren't thinking about, but then they made Batman vs. Superman about that based on audience reaction.
Yeah.
So The Flash did that too.
Whoa, come on.
Because one of the clones is the villain of one of the next seasons. Because he becomes one of the next speedster villains. There's always another speedster villain.
And he was like, you killed all of us. I'm going to hunt you down, Flash.
It's more or less that kind of resentment.
That's really dumb, by the way.
One of the clones becomes a villain. It's like,
wait, can the clone make more clones?
I'm like, at least they addressed it. He doesn't. I don't know if he can.
That would be hilarious. What if he did
he even might have, and I don't remember.
What if he did the cycle? He just continued the cycle.
There's a lot of show.
And he sacrificed clones for himself to get away. And he's like, oh, now I see why Flash did it. I should kill myself.
By the way, you told me that Barry Allen was not a Flash.
Barry Allen is a Flash.
When I first started watching The Flash, and you're like, which Flash is it? I was like, Barry Allen. I'm like, oh, they just made someone up then. I'm like, what?
Wait, I thought...
Yeah, you told me that he wasn't one of the Flashes.
I don't think he's one of the main Flash. No.
He's totally one of the Flashes. In fact, as far as I could tell, he's the only Flash I've ever met in any fiction. It was always Barry Allen.
Was it?
As like a cartoon.
Maybe I was thinking of Green Lantern.
It's like, I think the cartoon guy, for example, was Barry Allen.
Yeah.
Justice League and stuff like that. Like, I think Barry Allen's always been the one I've known.
No,
so it was really weird how you were like, he doesn't exist.
I think maybe I was thinking of Green Lantern.
You might have been in Green Lantern mode because we were recently binging the entirety of the Green Lantern 3D show, which is fantastic.
That might have been it. Because I know there's only...
show.
I don't think there's ever been any other Flashes. I want to say there's only been one.
Well, there's the first. There's the Golden Age Flash, and then there's Kid Flash.
You know what I mean?
Stuff like that.
There's no like modern era Flash. It's not like Green Lantern where there's 3 of them now. There's like 2 black guys and 1 white guy. There's Hal Jordan, and there's John Stewart, and there's one other one.
Flash?
No, not Flash.
His name's not Flash?
No. Flash Gordon?
Chad? She's some bro jackass. He's just a broy jackass. Yeah. So I was like, is his name Flash?
No.
Who's the bro? There's some bro somewhere in some cartoon named Flash.
I don't remember his name.
He's probably from like Danny Phantom or something.
Probably. But yeah, so I might have got confused.
This was the topic of having Andrew on 999. Wow.
Yeah.
So to finish that thought, my takeaway from 999 and Andrew and everything was the idea that, like, I think I would have, if I didn't do it with Andrew, because of how discussions work, I would have had significantly less fun, but probably would have thought the game was better, just because I wouldn't have noticed a billion things.
You wouldn't have argued about the solidity of that story. And you would have just let it slip.
It also very well may have become like it very well could have been like more of like a let's play our job moment where you're just kind of like, let's just do this series.
Here's like
it's like just kind of taking it, because I think a lot of people, because they saw it in a vacuum, like, and they don't like the 999 series has never come under fire the way that like Sonic the Hedgehog has, where it's like they all like come together to face off against the people that are talking shit about Sonic and stuff like that. Like,
we're not Game Grumps. Leave us alone.
A lot of people separately discover like 999, or they hear about it here and there. Like, I only heard about the franchise in positive terms of this interesting, weird thing that came out. Yeah,
I've never heard about it at all.
I first heard about 999 and Zero Escape because Giant Bombcast was talking about it.
Oh, okay.
And like all these different endings, and like all the endings are technically canon, and like that kind of like that. I think I told you that once before. Like the idea that all the endings were canon at the same time was like one of the first things I heard about the game, and I'm like, what? And like, so like you're supposed to get every ending of the first game before you even start the next game and stuff like that. Like, I knew that. That's like the first stuff I knew about the game. Yeah, immediately.
I knew nothing,
and so like
I only know about Danganronpa. That's the only like weird puzzle visual novel.
I think that it's a game that's gotten away with being niche, and that's been to its benefit.
Yeah, the less people that know about it, the better it's
If
served.
This was a multi-million selling franchise that did really well, there would be video essays about the mess that its story is.
I could do a video essay on that.
Instead, there's basically not even reviews on it.
Yeah, I remember
I was looking up. Like, I was like, I just want to see if there's like, because we'd finished the game at that point.
You wanted to see if anybody else agreed with us. Yeah. No one.
I wanted to see if someone, or I just wanted to see if anyone with more time than me, was doing like an H-Bomber guy basically, and just going all in on something the way that he went all in on like Sherlock and stuff like that. And I'm like, There's no one.
No.
There's no interesting discussions on like the entire internet about this game, period. No. There's a handful of 5-minute videos like 999 is pretty cool, and that's the whole video.
Yeah, it's like a G-Force video, basically, where it's like 999. It made me scared. It's a 10 out of 10.
It's a game that has gone virtually without any detailed or nuanced discussion ever.
Maybe I should do that.
So a bunch of people have just passively enjoyed it.
Maybe we should both just write a really long essay about it, and then be the first like H-Bomber guys for it. You'd probably get a lot of views. I don't want to
obsess over 999.
I mean, you're going to beat all 3 of them, so maybe you should reassess your life.
We need to do questions now.
All right.
I accidentally added another 50% to that 999 discussion. Listen, we're verbose.
Nice try. Any case, the first question here we've got is, have you guys ever thought of doing co-op horror games? Like, example, Keith plays I Can't Read Anymore because your chair's blocking the way. What does it say? What's the example?
For example, Keith plays a horror game until he dies and gives Andrew the controller, and vice versa.
We basically already did that.
That's the first Let's Play we ever did. Not a horror game, but Dark Souls.
Yeah, Dark Souls.
We played Dark Souls together, and every time someone died, you change controllers between you, me, and Anna.
Yeah.
Which was a mistake, because Dark Souls is hard, and you need to learn it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to learn it if you're only playing a third of the time.
Yeah.
And also only when we meet together to do it. That's not a good idea.
No. But it was funny.
But it's an all right way to cover a lot of games. Yeah. At one point we talked about, and I'm glad we didn't do this because I played the game now and it wouldn't have worked. We were talking about doing State of Decay.
Oh,
where every time, because it has permadeath in it. So I figured every time one of us dies, we would change characters.
Yeah.
Although, no, that could have worked still.
It just would have been a very long series.
No, because what also works in that game is that you get tired.
Oh.
So you have to, like, switch characters, in which case we just switch characters and controllers.
One of us would just have a different character.
Yeah. In addition to dying, like, we just have our own characters that, like, whose characters were whose, basically.
Okay.
It could have worked.
It could have worked.
But, but that was the idea we thought about at one point.
I mean, we did that technically with Remothered.
Yeah.
I just died enough times where I gave it to Keith.
We don't generally trade off
Keith didn't die.
Horror games. There's just been like 2 instances so far where Andrew's just done with a horror game, and so I take over, basically.
Yeah, usually.
Which is the basis of my channel existing.
Yeah.
Is that he was done with Outlast, so I went home and made an Outlast Let's Play without him. That's how this all started.
It worked out for the better. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody watching this right now. You got a Keith channel because of me.
But it's always possible, but I think... I don't know. The issue is, I think, we don't like the kind of horror game that rapidly kills you like that in the first place to make that kind of series feasible.
Yeah.
Like, you basically have to be playing, like, what, FNAF?
Yeah. It'd have to be like FNAF.
Those kinds of games that were... Like, our reaction, we played FNAF at release.
Oh, my God. That was such a bad idea.
We played Five Nights at Freddy's with zero context.
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea it was going to be like a cult sensation and stuff like that.
We were not hyped for the Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, we had literally never heard of the game.
Yeah.
We just happened to see it on Steam for a couple dollars.
For
and
$5.
Fuck it, why not?
And it was getting like amazing reviews. So
it was getting a handful of reviews. It wasn't even really big yet or anything.
No.
But we made a video and we're like, this sucks. We just left.
Yeah.
Like that type of game where you like you that the internet screams at a lot is like...
Yeah,
it usually doesn't phase us that much to begin with.
We're usually we're aware of the guys, like everything's really quiet and then really loudly.
If you don't know, a lot of YouTube channels pretend to be scared.
Yeah,
and you're pretty stuck with us being ourselves.
Yeah, sorry,
on our channels.
We're not PewDiePie or those other big names that can just scream at that. Like Markiplier's not scared. He's played Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, he's played every single one. You can't
be scared of them that far into the series. Not the way that they usually pretend to be and stuff like that. For me...
You could be scared of, like, you could be scared of the sound. Like, that's what they always do. They wait to jump off of the sound cue.
We died the least scary possible way, too, which is that we didn't understand how much you had to conserve energy.
Yeah.
Because the game doesn't tell you really anything. So we just ran out of power. And then the most drawn out, like, obvious possible death happened, which is like the
thing was
lights
at the door.
Go out and the light flickers. Like, this guy's gonna kill you, and then he kills you. I'm like, wow, what a shock.
You know what? I bet
did a loud sound.
I didn't even think about it. I bet you those like big Let's Players that play Five Nights at Freddy's, they probably don't even leave the headphones in anymore. Probably just have the game on mute because there's no reason to. By the fourth game.
That was part of my reaction. When I started
I remember when you edited, you were like super mad because you looked at it and you were like, "Look at this emptiness, and there's no sounds." You can literally see the
audio go from 0% sound to like 100% solid block, like actual
almost
ear damage,
almost clipping. Yeah. You're like furious.
So when I first started my Patreon, one of my first top supporters immediately was like, he wanted to sponsor me doing FNAF 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, here we go again. And it was amazing to me.
Here we go.
Like, I actually had to like abort midway through the video and just go play Dust. Just because I was like, you got a backup game? It was basically what I said.
Wow.
I was trying to make this hour-long video for this guy for all the support he was doing. And I'm like, I can't get an hour out of this game. Like, I can't.
Oh, yeah. You won't survive an hour or whatever.
Because the first FNAF, you pretty much have to live for like 10 minutes at a time, especially because like you have to survive. Like,
first FNAF, I was able to beat almost doing nothing.
I mean, like the first FNAF, the first night, you just live through. Basically.
You just live through.
At worst, you can do what we do, which is die at the very end of it due to power outage. But like, you pretty much just like there's a built-in amount of time of how long you're gonna last. Usually,
I think we did it again. You could literally just put the screen on your face for the first night and not touch anything else, and you won't die. I think we figured that out.
I think you tried it. We just quit as far as the video goes.
Right,
we're like, fuck this. This was boring. This will never take off.
That's what I did. I just put the screen on my face, and I didn't run out of power.
But, it's like Slender Man. Like, people like there's a like jump scare repetition that you're supposed to be like keep going with.
You get real fatigued by that quick. Like the first time it happens, you're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, we both like I found the Slender Man game when it first came out. I'm like, I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah,
and I got a video where I got spooked, and it was like nice little like 8-minute video, and like Andrew, don't look anything up, just record yourself playing this game, and then you did the same thing, and we got our 2 videos out of it, and I'm like, that's it,
because we're not going back.
Almost immediately I went back into the game, and I'm like, yeah, this is just numbers now.
Yeah.
It's like,
how fast can you do it?
It's like the Matrix, so you're reading the code, like a blonde, redhead, brunette. Like, it's like, okay, so I need to go around this map, and here's the randomized points where the pages can be, and he's always never going to be in front of me, but he can always be behind me at any given moment. There's like, so always walk forward and kind of work in swooping circles, but also he can bullshit kill you at any moment, and the whole gimmick is that a loud noise plays, and then you start over again.
Yeah.
And you realize that Slender is actually kind of luck-based, because it's like you have to just hope he doesn't fuck you, basically, because like he can just completely screw you.
If I remember correctly, it's like he can, sometimes you walk into a room and you're just like fucked, like because you can't if you see him, you try turning around, he's like there again, you're like fucking shit.
That's an issue I had with FNAF too, is that it's so mechanically driven that it can't be scary.
Oh yeah,
like you're so busy knowing about like the board game you're playing, basically, that in order to process all that shit, you have to be kind of detached from the actual like the atmosphere
Keith,
of it.
It does not sound like you're ready for Freddy.
So you're just not scared, basically.
I hated that. But I hated that fucking tagline.
To rewind from earlier, when I was talking about like how long you had to live no matter what in the first game.
Yeah.
In the fourth game, that was not true. In the fourth game, you could die in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And
fourth game, you could die like that.
So like I was just rapid fire dying. I'm like, I don't understand the mechanic, because like I'm not, because the games don't explain themselves.
Yeah, you're not invested into it, so you're not invested. You don't know the personalities.
You're supposed to like watch lore videos and look at wikis and like figure out like all these secret mechanics. It's like how the game works.
It's like Binding of Isaac, but for a horror game.
Yeah. So like I just kept dying over and over again. I'm like, I don't know what is happening.
Yeah,
but I died so rapidly, and I'm like, like there was like one jump scare at the end where at the beginning we're like, ah, and then after that it's like, ow was like my reaction to every jump scare, because like it's just really, even if you turn it down, it's just like it just goes from 0 to loud.
And it's like
that's the whole gimmick, is that chomp teeth happen on the screen, and it goes really loud.
It's always a metal kind of like there you go.
The high pitched screech.
It's like someone's rubbing a child against metal, where like the child's screaming.
It kind of sounds like a Looney Tunes cartoon skidding to a halt.
Yeah,
but like warped.
Yeah,
like a screech.
That's probably a better one.
It's that sound effect being warped into a Pokemon screech.
It's kind of like, if you combine a Pokemon's voice and a Looney Tunes character stopping at a halt, and then you just put it on like almost clipping, and
that guy got an entire living out of making that sound.
He got more than that. He got like 5 games, 6 games, a book, and now a movie. Like, good for him.
Honestly, I'd probably enjoy a movie based on that more than any of the other versions of it.
I don't enjoy any of it.
It's just a horror movie. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's not even a horror movie.
Is it not? It's not going to be about animatronics that eat you.
Well, you're the person, so what are they going to make the movie of, like a third party just standing there doing the night shift, and what, he never leaves because he can't leave, so it's a movie that takes place in one room where giant metal things are coming after him. But
I mean, for me this would be a go-to case of don't be true to the game.
What I mean,
just set up a fucked up like nighttime Chuck E. Cheese thing with like FNAF monsters that eat people.
I feel like,
and just skip the whole stupid.
I feel like it's a terrible idea. I would much rather just like
you can make a lot of things work with horror movies. A benefit of horror movies is that they're more often than any other genre allowed to be shorter. A lot of the horror movies that I've enjoyed have been like 70, 80 minutes long.
Tell that to fucking Freddy vs. Jason.
Like so many. Oh, was it a long one or something?
I think it was like 2 hours or something like that. I think it was like a Freddy movie and a Jason movie, like, and the length time combined together. And it was like, both of them have a movie together. And I was like, why did you increase the length time though? Like, this is unnecessary.
Oh man, I've been.
Where's my sequel, by the way?
I'm
waiting for.
I've
Freddy
been
first.
Working through Netflix's back catalog of like 80-minute horror movies, and
there's a lot of them.
And some of them are neato.
Yeah,
like the Ritual.
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
rad.
But some of them are not.
I've gotten a few people to watch that now.
Some
Have you watched it yet?
I've seen Ritual. Yeah.
Ritual's pretty neat.
I watched a lot of like.
That's a cool creature thing.
Have you seen Devil's Chair?
No. Wasn't that on your like best movies ever list?
It's literally my number one
when you were
movie.
on that one website.
Yeah, it still is.
Letterboxd.
It's my number one movie of all time ever made. There's never a better movie made in human history.
Never seen it.
You should watch it.
I've never seen it.
I think it's 80 minutes.
It's a good duration for a horror movie because horror movies are often like
it is.
A lot of horror movies have one idea that they're trying to express, and so a shorter runtime often works for that.
That's why I think think of like House in the Woods.
Did I tell you
Cabin in the Woods?
Did I tell you about the most infuriating horror movie though?
Is that a horror movie? Yeah, that's that one that's like a horror movie, but then it's also like zany. Right?
Did I tell you about like just the most infuriating horror movie?
No,
I found on Netflix is I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, that helps.
It's about a deaf woman.
Okay,
who's getting hunted in her own house.
Okay, wait, how does she know she's getting hunted?
There's a convenient other person to get killed so that she can be like, oh no, a murderer. Because that's how screenwriting works. And this guy is some kind of psychopath that just wants to torture people.
Is she like sitting there in bed and she looks up and she's like, well, I can't really hear what's going on, but I see my friend walking down the hallway.
There's a whole intro where she's like working in her kitchen and just behind her in the glass is like her neighbor being murdered and screaming and beating on the window, and like
she can't hear because she's deaf.
So she's not noticing the entire murder happen, basically.
Okay, and what, she just turns around and is like, oh my heavens, there's blood everywhere.
Eventually, yeah, like she picks up on what's happening, essentially. It's that kind of movie. But like, it's a movie that can only exist because of a billion contrivances and conveniences that set up the whole thing. And it was infuriating because like immediately they had to set up that the guy isn't just killing people
indiscriminately
just to kill them, and also he's not just killing them like efficiently or anything.
He's not indiscriminate or efficient. That's great.
Yeah, like he's doing the whole like play with your food type killing.
Okay.
Where he's like, oh, I'm going to make you scared. And it's like, he has no grudge.
That's really weird.
There's no grudge here to explain why the movie's happening.
Yeah, why is he doing...
They don't know each other.
He's doing this to a deaf woman. This is like really fucking
He's just terrorizing her because throughout the movie, which means that, that's why she's alive throughout the whole movie, is because it's like the only way she could be alive is if he just keeps not killing her.
That's like discrimination. So she's just trapped in the house, and he's just going around the house and finding entrances and fucking with her and stuff like that. Okay,
but like it's
amnesia
the most
for a deaf woman.
Infuriating movie because there are multiple times it becomes like Remothered.
Okay,
where there's multiple times where she like gets a good blow in or something like that, and something happens, and then she just doesn't follow up. And I'm like, you're going to die if he keeps coming after you. This is your chance, and she like runs away every single time. Like, what are you doing?
Did you see?
What are you doing? No, it hits peak levels of stupid.
Okay,
because the neighbor that got killed, her husband is like this
still
big badass
alive?
dude. He comes over from he's looking for her.
Still alive?
Yeah, still alive.
He left the husband alive.
No, so the husband was not home at the time. So the husband that was next door comes home and there's no wife there, and so he comes to check the neighbors to see if they've seen her.
Yeah.
And when he gets there, the killer guy pretends to be a cop that got a call or something like that.
He's like Scooby-Doo going on at the house when she's running through one door and he's running through the other door.
What's infuriating is, like, I think at this point she's hiding upstairs or something, and the guy's outside. He pretends to be a cop that, like, was responding to, like, a call or something like that.
In the house?
Yeah, it's like, oh, we got a call here. Like, we heard gunshots or something like that.
He's, like, in the house?
No, he's, like, out front.
Oh, the bad guy went outside?
The bad guy's out front, and, like...
That's weird.
And he's like pretending to be there on a call as a cop.
Lock the door.
So the guy, well, that happens a lot. But but the neighbor, not being an idiot, starts piecing together that this guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
And like she
can't hear him, so she's just assuming.
No, so this whole time the deaf girl's not anywhere around because she's apparently just not keeping an eye on anything, even though all that she can do is look at things.
Yeah, and
she's not trying to keep an eye on the stuff. A huge chunk of this, she doesn't even know that conveniently her potential salvation is just right outside.
She doesn't even realize that she has neighbors. Like she bought a house with no knowledge of neighbors.
So the guy starts piecing together that the cop is the bad guy.
The husband does.
The husband guy starts piecing together that the cop's full of shit.
I mean,
and so
okay,
but he gets the most infuriating thing happens, which is that right when he's about to actually do something, suddenly the deaf girl shows up, knocking on the inside of the sliding glass window. He looks to there, and the guy slits his throat. I'm like, fuck.
What?
Like the cop, the
bad guy slits
the husband's throat the moment he looks away, and I'm like, you son of a bitch! But because he's a fucking badass, he's still not dead. So he fucking grabs they get in a fight. He grabs the fucking guy, like he has him like in a chokehold because he's fucking huge compared to the actual killer.
Okay,
and he's on the ground and he's laying on his back on the ground, and the killer's on top of him and he's choking him out. And I'm like, deaf girl,
just stab him.
Deaf girl,
just stab him.
I'm like, come on, there's a person dying to help you right now, and the killer is incapacitated. There are so many things you could use as weapons. You just gotta run over there and just fucking hit him with something.
Yeah.
She fucking runs away.
She,
and I'm like, I
vacates the area.
I'm like, I can't do this.
Does she call the police, or does she, like, anything?
It's the usual contrivances where it's like there's no power and there's no signal and her phone died and all the billion things that you can establish to make sure she can't contact anyone that will happen.
I want to say this for the record is I get it. We're living in a time that it becomes increasingly hard to make horror stories where, like, people can't contact somebody. It
reaches the point where she's like in WordPad and she's like typing her memoir, her note to her.
Yeah,
she's like typing her death note to her fucking family and shit like that. And it's like, you could have not only lived, you could have saved him. Because you probably could have like wrapped up his neck after you took out the killer, and like he could be alive, but instead you just left him to die. And I'm like,
well, I mean, he doesn't have a wife. Why does he need to live anymore?
It's not how anything works.
I mean, that's what I keep hearing from married people who got mad at my conversation on the last podcast.
Like, I've been having fun because I can watch horror movies the same way I can do Let's Plays, which is that I can just
turn it off.
I just flip between the two things. I'm like, oh shit, the ritual, this is neato, or this bitch. Where I'm like, what are you doing? Why don't you want to live?
God, I can't do that. I can't. My brain is not.
It's amazing when you hit the moment in a horror movie where you don't care.
Yeah,
if the person lives.
I'll say I can do that.
That's a special type of movie.
If I'm like incredibly high, I can turn off my brain to literally anything. I think I spent me and Mackenzie played like Gears of War last week, and we started off and we both got really mad at it because it's just a bad game.
First Gears of War?
Yeah, it's just a shit game. And
every time you go back to the first game, it's always surprising how like
I was like, how did this get a franchise? Unfinished? Yeah, and so we got so mad we just got like as high as we possibly could to play it.
You just kind of teleport onto a train.
Yeah,
you're like, we're on a train now. What?
Yeah,
and it just didn't finish entire chunks of the story, and so it's just not there.
And so we got so incredibly high that we not only did we start realizing that half the game was like unfinished, like we saw enemies that were just like frozen in place waiting for us to trigger a cutscene.
The game falls apart a lot in ways that like weren't obvious in 2006, but now when you go back to where you're like, oh shit, this game's a mess.
Yeah.
Because it was amazing because they remade, they had the gall to make an anniversary edition of it.
Yes.
Where they fixed none of the things.
They fixed none of the things.
It's still a weird mess.
That's the one I have. I have the anniversary, 3-pack thing. Yeah. It was, but I could tell you I was having a blast. When I started the game, I was not. Both of us were very upset, but the moment we both got high, we just were having a blast with how bad it was. We just found it hilarious. Like, oh, I cannot believe that this was like...
That rookie's as green as grass.
It was... There was one time where the game fucked up the audio dialogue, and so the line was like... The line was Dom going, he's like, how much... He's like, Marcus, how much do you think these things cost? And Marcus just goes, I can't count that high.
And you believe him.
But he said it with such conviction. Like, the line is supposed to be...
I can't count that high.
The line was supposed to be like, Marcus, how much do you think these things cost? It must be like the tens or the thousands, correct? And Marcus was like, I think it's so high, I can't count. He's like, I think it's worth so much, I can't count that high. Yeah. But it cut off like 2 chunks of it and made a conversation where Marcus is admitting he doesn't know math.
It's and like, it was Marcus, so how much? I can't count.
Basically, that's what happened. And everything started falling apart and it was a lot more fun. Mm-hmm. But like normally I would be furious. I just couldn't, like, before we went to that point, it was the game was falling apart and I was getting infuriated. Like, we're not even done with the game. We're not even halfway done. And this fucking game has shit all over us.
That was it's weird thinking back to that game because it had some kind of weird momentum of like where the story was going, and then out of nowhere it's like now you're on a train fighting a guy that attacks you with locust swarms or something. I'm like, what? Did we miss something?
I think it was
yes, it didn't make a part of the game.
I think you're like that's when you get to.
And that game had a lot of DLC, I think, and then none of the DLC was fixing the
missing
part of the story.
It was all like maps for the online.
Yeah.
There's like a part where you go to like Marcus Phoenix's house or something, and it's like, "Where's my daddy?" And then you find out that your dad's like a spider or something. I don't know. I don't remember what happened in that game. But
as you do.
Well, I just remember it was
it's a common familial problem.
Well, that's
every now and then you just find out your dad's a spider.
It happens. That's what I remembered was the ending of the trailer. Where it's like when it played the Mad World, but it was like the ending was them shooting the spider.
The trailer was completely fucked.
Yeah.
Because like a giant mega spider is just like stabbing him with like 8 limbs at once.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think he gets out of that one.
And that was the end of I think that's the end of the house, is you fight a giant spider that stabs, and it was
a good trailer at the time.
All I remember was
the beginning of how, from then on, every game ever would have a trailer
sad
that
music.
Had sad music and slow motion scenes.
Halo was the only one who did it okay.
Like, here's the trailer Halo of the girl slowly going out the window of Dead Island. You know, a game where that matches the tone completely.
That trailer was the ultimate false promise I've ever seen in my life.
Nothing about the game even remotely matches the tone of that trailer. Because then you buy the game and it's like, who do you voodoo, bitch? There's a bunch of people in fucking tie-dye shirts clubbing each other with chainsaws and shit. Who do you voodoo, bitch? I'm like, what the fuck? That's the same game?
You're right. It sounds like the theme song of the game. Jesus Christ.
Wasn't the guy who made the song one of the 4 playable characters or something?
Yes, he's
that was the tone of the game, and they had the gall to have like a Mad World trailer.
I forgot about that.
You forgot about Who Do You Voodoo?
I forgot the Who Do You Voodoo thing. Oh my god, you're right.
And the fucking collector's edition came with the severed torso of a girl bikini. That was just the bikini area and nothing else, which is like just creepy and gross to have in your house in general. And this is the fucking trailer. They had the gall to have that trailer of like, oh no, it's the girl that slow motion out the window and oh, she bit her own family. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, that should be the fucking trailer for like State of Decay or something.
Do you remember that trailer got like so much? It like got PT levels of attention.
Yeah.
Where it was like, wow, really this game's gonna be like,
the game. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this? What happened? Halo
was so good you'd think that you'd retroactively be like, scrap the entire project, let's make that game.
Right.
Because apparently that game will sell.
That game's the one that's going to sell.
Still no one's made that game.
No.
Actually, well, kind of Last of Us. Kind of.
No, I wouldn't say.
Wrong kind of zombies.
Last of Us is definitely not anywhere close to like heartstrings touching.
There's a specific obsession about zombies
and old men,
father-daughter relationships. Because it's that trailer. It's The Last of Us.
I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. Look,
Walking Dead adventure game.
Here's a spoiler alert. I really don't give a fuck about the child. I just want the old man. I just want the old man to survive.
There's always a father. So many video games now are father-daughter.
Can I just have the father?
Board.
I just want a movie about a father surviving on his own, and he just goes like, "I fucking hate kids," and I go, "Yeah, Dad."
Lose the kid, and they're like, "Oh, fuck it."
Yeah, I just want.
Well, that was the what you need then is a Last of Us prequel.
Can I just?
Because the entire time between the prologue of Last of Us and the actual beginning of the campaign is like 15 years of him being alone.
No, because
just being sad and drinking.
I just want. I basically just want a movie about Wolverine, but with no other X-Men. That's all I want.
Old Man Logan,
but but nobody else in the movie, but Old Man Logan, just him by himself.
Yeah, because Old Man Logan became a movie about the. Because the comic book, it's just Old Man Logan,
which is why it was good.
Hawkeye's there.
I love it.
Blind,
yeah,
and you got to go fight Hulk.
You got to fight Hulk.
In the movie, they're like, it's The Last of Us.
Yeah,
it's another old man and a daughter character that are going to go out to. Like that was the other example I was trying to think of.
I hate it. I was so mad.
That's become so ever present. It's like an old guy taking care of like a daughter or usually an adopted daughter figure.
Yeah.
Oh, specifically, yeah.
Specifically,
if we ignore the trailer, if we ignore specifically the Dead Island trailer. The Last of Us, Old Man Logan, and Walking Dead are all like adoptive daughter relationships where like some dude encounters a young girl and protects them across the zombie wasteland. I'm like, it's a very specific thing to keep doing.
Yeah, it's almost like someone experienced it once and they just keep doing it again.
So specific.
I just don't want the daughter. I want the dad. I just only want the dad to do it. Yeah. I don't even care if it's like a poorly written dad. I just don't want the daughter. And people can't seem to fathom that you can make a good movie without this weird, like, false sense of emotional empathy. Like, you have to have some poor innocent thing there that has to, like, tug your heartstrings, where the old man does that.
On the Walking Dead show, you recently got your wish.
No, I didn't.
You don't watch the show.
I don't like Rick. Rick isn't the old man I want.
I'm saying that happened, though.
Well, yeah, everybody died. Great.
Yeah. The child is gone in that show.
Well, every child should be gone in that show.
As far as the question goes.
No. We're not going to play co-op horror games forever. The end.
We generally like the idea of like playing a horror game, one of us playing, one of us watching. The trade-off mechanic just isn't feasible generally.
We have to find a game where it works, and that's very small.
But also, how do you find that game without playing it first? To know already, like, oh, this would be a good one for trading off.
I mean, yeah, it's usually in the moment, though. Like, in the moment of playing, we'll decide sometimes. We'll retroactively. We
make up rules sometimes. Like, hey, I'll play the Sonic levels.
I mean, yeah.
And you play the warehouse levels. I was going to say,
like that. We did that with Sonic. We've done it with, I think, 999. We thought the idea of, like, one of us would play the puzzle rooms, and the other one would play the other stuff.
That might have come up. I don't remember.
And then it turned into, like, just press A, who gives a shit? Like,
we've had a handful of trade-off mechanics here and there, but in horror games, it's either you die so often that it becomes frustrating and you're not interested in doing it anymore, and that specifically is most likely going to make Andrew not want to do it anymore. Like, run from the monster. Oh no, he's gonna get you, and then you get stuck like getting got like 6 times in a row. And like that usually is when Andrew just checks out altogether.
I mean, that's what happened in Remothered.
Or you have the other thing, which is like the game becomes so easy to not die in that the trade-off would never happen.
That trade-off never happens.
In Remothered.
Yeah.
Like the moment I started playing the game, I never got killed by the monster for the entire playthrough.
Yeah.
So we got to like action segments at the end.
Yep.
Because the game was so. A lot of horror games are so abusable that you can just like not die in them.
That's one of my biggest problems about horror games. Is that like
I think that happened in my Silent Hill playthrough. Like I was like, well, I can just run away from all the monsters, and I just did.
Yeah.
And I think I did a significant percentage of the playthrough not dying.
Yeah.
Except for boss fights where they would just fucking take you out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm dead now.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I think I started doing that at some point with Resident Evil myself.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I did that with the shotgun thing with the. With the dad, where I did
weird shit.
Where I did the thing where I kept going in the shotgun room.
You definitely never stopped dying at Resident Evil. You died constantly.
But I'm saying, like, I found ways to just like fucking
make weird things.
Make weird things happen.
For me, the thing is, like we would probably play a co-op horror game like that was actually co-op if they were ever good.
Yeah,
but
if they weren't just like shitty reactionary
whenever
stuff.
something is horror and it's co-op, it's either Left 4 Dead where it's just it's not really horror.
It's not horror.
It's using horror aesthetic, but none of it is actually scary.
I mean, it's scary to die.
Or it's something like, or the more common case is that anything that has co-op and horror
YouTube bait.
in its list of features is usually a terrible video game.
Yeah, it's YouTube bait.
Or
Like
it's
the that haunted house thing where you set up traps for someone to walk through a building. You ever seen that one? Where it has like the weird.
There's all the ones where like one of you plays a monster and the other one's not a monster. But there's also like the new Alone in the Dark.
Oh yeah,
Is like the newest Alone in the Dark is a co-op Alone in the Dark, but it's like it looks absolutely miserable. It looks like the worst video game, basically.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just. Yeah, if you can make the genre better, then we'll do it. Otherwise, then
make a better horror game.
Yeah,
it's easy.
It's all up to you guys. So, what's the next one? It's a long one. You read it.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
I love your videos. Oh, hey, that's fitting. How does Andrew feel about the complaints about him on Keith's videos? Mostly the 999 stuff.
This
is like how we were doing the podcast. We were talking about the concept of like the bad relationship stuff, and then while we were talking, behind us, a notification came up of like the email coming in about what's your worst relationship.
Oh yeah,
it's like here's the how do you feel about the 999 comments when we were just talking about that for an hour.
The way I feel is that Keith is the little girl figure, and I'm the old man dad.
What?
And
I have questions.
And just like the old man dad, I just don't care. I don't really care at all. I don't like my entire prerogative is just to not die, and that's how I deal with Keith's playthroughs. I just try not to die while doing them. I don't care if people don't like me on them. I can't change that.
Just try not to
I just try not to die. I don't know, man. Like, look, at the end of the day, does it really matter if people like me on there or not? Because for one, if you don't like me on there, you can watch like the 5 other videos he posts every day.
That's kind of the universal thing across all my videos is that
I don't ruin the channel. I can assure you that. I ruin maybe a playthrough, but like I can't ruin a channel.
But even then, you only root it for specific people.
Yeah,
because like everyone, like there's always the people that are into the particular guests and stuff like that. Like I always got a kick out of like the comment Colonel RPG gave, which is that what is it? Like you said you wanted to trade out before you got bad.
Yeah.
Mothered, and he's like, I wanted to see him get bad.
No,
because some people are into seeing the person's traits. Other people find annoying.
I can assure you, based on my voice today, I do not want to get bad again. That's not a good idea.
For me, the takeaway is that no one's safe. Like Andrew is the most like obviously abrasive person that I've ever had on YouTube videos. Where I expect it.
I expect
as in like
wow.
Like you're the one that I specifically go into the videos expecting comments of people being frustrated with you.
I go in with like armor.
Yeah, well, I'm ready. Like I see.
Bring me those comments.
But the surprise is actually that on average, like across different playthroughs and everything, like 999 was an especially aggravated one across the board for the audience, for a lot of audience members. But
I don't think it was mostly me though. I feel like it was just us talking too much,
talking about the game in general. Yeah. Just it's a billion things.
I think a lot of people just like shut up and press A, and you'll see what.
It's the first hour of this podcast. Yeah. But I just mean like when I look at all the different playthroughs we do on all the different games, and I compare those to like playthroughs I do with like Birdcatcher and Shell and Wanderbot and stuff like that, it's actually really even.
Like, everybody just doesn't like everybody.
People complain about everyone that's ever on the channel. Basically.
Well, I mean, because the channel isn't about them; it's about you. Yeah. So anytime
people get mad at Wanderbot, for a while there, I thought Bird was safe, but then we did Divinity, and people turned on Bird pretty hard during the Divinity playthrough, and it's like people just complain about everyone that's on the show, including me, by the way. Like, I mean,
yeah, but you're not going anywhere.
Well, yeah, like obviously I get a lot of negative feedback when I'm on other people's channels, but also like my favorite one is like shut up on a stream and like his voice makes my skin crawl. I'm like, all right, thanks.
That's
every
a good.
Every time I see Keith in another video, I just like him less. I've seen a lot of it before, but frankly, like, I get negative feedback constantly about myself on my own channel. So it's like,
well,
my sheer volume, it's always directed at me too.
See to the previous video that we did, or previous podcast about negative comments.
But like, people just, every personality is a gamble, and you'll like some of them and not like other ones, and it just happens. I am relatively confident that I make entertaining videos with Andrew on a regular basis, and so I'm cool with making those videos.
I mean, I could tell you, I personally am not someone who takes it to heart. You could be as cruel and senseless as to me as you want.
And get ready, because we're going to be airing that Dark Souls playthrough soon, where Andrew gets mad at Dark Souls a lot.
I wouldn't
beats it.
I wouldn't say mad. I would say...
He gets indignant? I don't know.
I would say very displeasing.
He gets frictiony.
Yeah, friction does happen.
He expresses Dark Souls friction.
I kill things.
I spent a lot of time just sort of laughing at the comments in general and just hanging out, and also lying to you a few times. That was fun.
Yeah.
And get ready for some fun lies.
What do you guys expect from the Dark Souls 1 remake?
Nothing.
I expect it to be a copy paste, but with 60 FPS.
Yeah.
If it's not, then I'm going to actually be concerned.
He thinks that as the pessimist. I think that as the actual fan. I think that's all it's going to be. I've actually been, like, everyone, like, I made that video.
Why would they put effort into it?
Remember that video I put up to answer the question about, like, will you be playing the remake?
Yeah.
I was like, just yes.
Yeah.
Just because I was trying to shut people up.
I
might not play it.
What? You made a video that lied to people, Keith. How could you?
I might not play the Dark Souls remaster.
You know what? Get it on the Switch.
So what I think
it'll be different.
What I think might ultimately happen is I might play it when it comes out, just for the purpose of doing a new Dark Souls playthrough, because I'm so much better than I was back then.
Well, aren't you like doing Demon Souls right now? Or didn't you do?
That's come and gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but you did Demon Souls. You haven't done Dark Souls 1 again.
I wanted to replay Demon Souls and Dark Souls now that I'm better.
Yeah.
Because.
But I'm saying you haven't gone.
It was convenient that while I was starting that with Demon Souls, Dark Souls Remaster was announced. And I'm like, I guess I'll play that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You didn't go back to Dark Souls 1 yet.
If it wasn't for that incredibly specific scenario, I probably would not even buy it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it, and
do you need to?
As far as I can tell, the Dark Souls Remaster has very little reason to exist.
No.
It's like
that PC version is a shit show.
It's on some new platforms, like the Switch, for example.
Yeah,
so like if you want Dark Souls on the Switch, or you just want to get Dark Souls for the first time, this might be the time to do it.
The time is now.
I'm just saying, like, this is like this at the time of release, it'll probably be the best version of
I feel
Dark
like
Souls 1.
I better get a free copy of this for buying Dark Souls 1 on PC and it being such a shit show.
And it's like, I already bought Dark Souls 1 on PC at launch, and I own Dark Souls 2 and 3 and Bloodborne and Demon Souls and stuff, and I own multiple copies of a few of them. I'm like, why
am I gonna buy Dark Souls 1 again?
I'm just like, when I bought Dark Souls 2 again a year later, it was the Scholar of the First Sin edition, and they re-scrambled the whole campaign and shit like that. They moved around all the enemy placements and stuff like that, and that was cool because, like, in Dark Souls 2, when you beat you'd beat the game and enter New Game Plus, and there'd be new, like, glowing red enemies that are put throughout the game that, like, new elite enemies that are mixed in through the crowd.
Okay.
So that meant there was essentially 2 campaigns in the launch version. The New Game Plus, it had a reshuffled version. There was also, like, changes to boss fights where, like, a new enemy would show up during the boss fight and stuff like that. Like
how dare you?
Like, there was a boss fight that had spellcasters in it all of a sudden that would attack you during the boss fight, and things like that were changed.
Okay.
And then in Scholar, but that wasn't even Scholar of the First Sin.
That was just one.
Then Scholar of the First Sin came out a year later, and they reshuffled both of those campaigns again. So there's essentially 4 campaigns for Dark Souls 2.
Okay, that seems worth it.
But in Dark Souls 1 and 3 and Bloodborne and Demon Souls, when you beat the game and cycle around, it's just a normal New Game Plus.
Everything's just harder.
Just stuff scaled.
Yeah.
And you're higher level. And so, like, that was one way of justifying me buying the upgrade or the repurchase or whatever of Scholar of the First Sin, is that, like, I liked the game enough that I would get the mileage out of getting a new version of, or a remix
getting
campaign.
2 more campaigns, basically.
But as far as I can tell, that's not happening.
It's not.
As far as I can tell, nothing's changing at all.
I mean, I'm actually shocked that they're not going to do that.
They're so terrified of offending anyone that they're keeping the game exactly the same.
I want to preface this. Could you guys?
Because people think Dark Souls is perfect.
Could you guys stop doing that? Like, could you stop putting a game franchise up so fucking high into the clouds that the creators get so scared to just have fun? Like, seriously.
Well, that's also a reason why I don't think anything's going to change, is because it's not from software.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I'm saying,
Bandai Namco just, like, farmed out Dark Souls to be like re-released by some studio.
But I'm saying, I mean, they could have still done the New Game Plus thing if they.
They could have done all sorts of things, but as far as like everything I've looked at so far about the game is that
Amiibo support.
It's going to have Amiibo support on the Switch. It's going to have expanded multiplayer and dedicated servers. And
what does that
like
even? Dedicated servers.
Yeah.
Are they going to be like? Can everyone play with everyone? Can I play on the Switch? And
it'll have dedicated server, and that's not peer to peer.
Gross.
And then it'll be because all the other ones were peer to peer.
That's how it should be because it stays there for longer.
And also, that's the issue. But also, so now eventually Dark Souls Remaster, that was the new release that came out 7 years later, will have a shorter lifespan possibly. Although that's still confusing because they recently shut down the servers for Demon's Souls.
Remember, they shut down the world servers. Remember, they shut it down so the worlds don't affect each other. So, like, when you do things, it doesn't affect the world or whatever that shit was.
As far as I can tell, they shut down the servers so that you can't do multiplayer anymore in Demon's Souls.
I think they probably patched it so you can't do.
My understanding is that in all these games, there still is some kind of server that is involved that has to be up regardless, even if it is peer to peer.
If it's peer to peer, then no, it would just be one to the other.
I don't know.
That's how. Honestly, that's why Halo.
It's really opaque.
That's how Halo 2 survived, because people just did like peer to peer. People are like, get off of Halo 2 servers. Like, never.
Never. That was still shut down, though.
Well, yeah, but once it was shut down, people
found a workaround.
Yeah.
It was still, there was a service that was shut down.
Well, yeah.
That didn't work anymore.
Well, that was different. I'm sorry. The point I'm making is that, like, you can still do, unless they patch out the ability to do multiplayer, you can still do it.
But as far as I can tell, Dark Souls Remaster is just going to be the same game.
Just same game,
with the
updated.
same assets and everything, just in 1080-60.
Yeah.
Which, a lot, like...
Even the same assets.
A lot of people figured out how to make the PC version be 1080-60. So
not only that, they figured out a way...
They're charging $40 for a patch that came out the month the game came out.
Not only that, but the game...
7 years later.
The patches, there's like 4K... patches now for Dark Souls 1 where they people go in and like literally change the textures to be 4K. I don't really know what the point of like an HD remake is if you're not going to beat out the people who are giving it out for free.
I'm really confused that they're not like making any new assets or anything. Like, not like redoing the visuals.
I'll be honest, I'm glad that it's in 60 FPS so people don't get gypped out anymore. Yeah. But that's about it.
For me, it's just like
what's the point?
I might have not even bought it if it wasn't for the fact that I'll probably do a series on it just for the purpose of it. And people want to see it. It will literally benefit me monetarily, most likely, to just make a series that's called Dark Souls Remastered. You'll probably make you'll make more money than the game actually costs. Because people will be looking to watch a Dark Souls Remastered playthrough, so I'll do it for that purpose.
Which, Keith, let's be honest, you could have actually probably called any other Dark Souls playthrough Dark Souls Remastered, and no one would know the difference.
I did that.
Did you?
Valkyria Chronicles was coming out on PS4.
Yeah.
And it was Valkyria Chronicles HD. So I just played my PC version, and I called it HD. Because it was already on PC. It had been on PC for 2 years at that point.
Yep.
Which was HD.
Yeah.
So I just played the PC version, and I called it HD. I didn't call it PS4 or anything. But the implication was that people were getting to it by looking for the PS4 version. And it's like, yeah, it's been in HD for years, guys. It's just that's what 1080 means.
Yeah.
It's like... So I just did that. But I'll probably play the real remaster because the patches led to mixed results on performance and things happening in the game. So that presumably would be ironed out. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? But yeah, I am incredibly underwhelmed by the remaster and all imagination that was captured by the idea of it first being...
All imagination.
I mean, like all the potential that you think of when the trailer first came out.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
You think of like, what could they do?
It's just Dark Souls. It's just the same game, which is still playable.
I mean, it's just copy, paste, scale.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You just copy, paste, scale up.
It's a good release if you're on the new consoles and you're like, I want that game. Yeah. Because it's the only Dark Souls game that's not on the new consoles.
Yes, I will say it is nice that it's going to be Dark Souls on PS4 and Xbox One. Because
Dark Souls 2 was
Switch.
On last gen too, but when they made Skull of the First Sin, that came out on next gen.
Yeah.
So the only missing part of the trilogy is the first game, so porting it is fine.
Yeah.
But all this hubbub about it being a remaster is mostly bullshit.
I didn't know why they called it a remaster.
It's basically just a port.
Shouldn't have just been called an HD remake.
It's not even a remake.
Well,
they should have just said we're bringing Dark Souls to PS4.
Or that works.
Switch.
Yeah,
we're just porting it, like the way you would port like fucking all the games coming out on Switch, basically. Like everything on Switch is just another port. Like,
hey, look, Captain
Doom remastered.
Captain 2.
They didn't remaster Doom. They just put it on the Switch.
Well, they had a dumbed down Doom.
But yes, I'm really underwhelmed by all that. So that's a bummer. But there's another thing too, which is that one of the reasons I'm hesitant to play the Dark Souls remaster is that I'm already airing your Dark Souls playthrough.
Oh no.
But there's another Dark Souls thing I want to do this year.
Oh no.
And I'm like, do I want to do 3 Dark Souls playthroughs on my channel in 1 year?
The answer is yes. Your audience will say yes 100% of the time.
Because somebody's doing, because you're talking about how like the mods always do what they don't do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're also doing that elsewhere, which is that there's Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 has a patch, a mod that keeps getting continually updated that someone's working on right now called Die More Edition. Or no, I think it's called Prepare to Die Again. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Dark Souls, it was just called Dark Souls, but it came out on PC and it was called Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition,
which meant die your PC because your PC can't handle it because it crashes.
So the new mod is Prepare to Die Again.
Oh, good.
And it's a Scholar of the First Sin style campaign remix.
Someone's going through and manually replacing these.
Somebody manually was redoing the enemy placements throughout the game to give it a new campaign.
Is it just me?
And I'm like, I'd rather play that than the remaster because it's a new thing to do.
Is it just Miyazaki?
What?
Is he just like
bored and making a mod of his own?
Is he just like that bored? It can't be like a real person, right? No one's sitting there and like dedicating that much time.
It's not weird. It's not that weird to do that.
I
fucking made I made custom levels of Diablo 2.
That game is long. Dark Souls is a big ass game. I'm not going to replace any enemies in that game. It's
not that big.
It is.
It's not. As far as RPGs go, it's not really very big.
It's still a lot to replace enemies and change things.
Especially when you're not struggling through it. Like,
Keith,
it's over and like...
It's not a drag and drop game, Keith. You don't just go like, I want skeletons here. Like, you have to change code. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you gotta set stuff up.
So this person's dedicating a lot of time for no monetary gain. Mm-hmm. So it's Miyazaki. It's like, let's just be real here. He doesn't need to get paid for it because he has a job.
Some people just like a game enough that after 7 years, like, I want to play it more again.
I mean, you could buy the sequels. Jesus Christ! Like, for fuck's sake!
I thought you liked the concept of mods. Now you're like talking shit about this passion.
No, I like the concept of mods, but goddamn, you need a family. Like like you can't be updating a 7-year-old game.
No family.
You can't be manually doing this. There's like 5 parts of this question. Like talk about manga.
Asking about comics.
We already talked about comics. Actually, we talked about like
you talked about manga in the past. What do you think about comics? It's like, I don't read comics. So most of them. I don't like manga or comics on average because most of them are like the mega comics that will never die.
Yeah,
and I'm not interested in that kind of fiction.
I have a lot of DC comics in my attic because I really like DC comics.
I hate superhero comics
because I'm a broody.
I don't like them at all.
Yeah, as a kid, I was very broody, so I like the darkness of DC comics. And then as I became not as broody and became more just angry in general,
I got Hulk and Spider-Man and shit.
Yeah, Marvel became interesting. And then I was like, you know what, superheroes are dumb. So I started reading The Boys, and that was my best choice.
I just don't like superhero comics. I don't like how they're never going to go anywhere, and it's all about being a franchise, and to the point where like it's just a reoccurring thing that they'll reboot the universe. Like they're doing it again already, even though they just did it. Well,
they have to, Keith, because they write themselves into a block, or they need to like fit something in they forgot, and so they have to redo it.
Like every story can't even matter on its own merits if whenever anything gets fucked up collectively, they just have to reboot all of them.
Well, look, if you don't have a black Superman, then you have to reset the whole universe. Like
I hate everything about the shitty corporate concept of how it's all handled, and people should just have a run, and then it can be over.
That's what they used to do. Like they had the Frank Miller Batmans, and then they wouldn't be canonical to any other Batmans. It's just Frank Miller Batman had like Nazis Like Joker literally.
I think
Joker was like
in the infinite.
I think like Joker was like Yakuza, and he had like a sidekick Harley Quinn that was like a giant fucking Russian girl who had like Nazi stickers over her nipples, and I was like, I don't know this Batman, but I'm all aboard. But
and every time
that wasn't canonical.
Every time I get explained what happens in any arc ever, basically, so much of what superhero comics involves like massive grand gestures that are earth-shattering changes to that particular world, and then they just undo it like the next year.
Well, there's also like multiverses and fucking yada 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 yada, and some
or just massive bullshit moments of like Spider-Man making a deal with the devil and stuff like that to undo his marriage and bring someone back to life, basically. It's like, oh shit, that character's dead and Spider-Man's boring when he's married. He'll make a deal with the devil to undo that other death and also
destroy
undo
his
the marriage part. Is like fucking all these storytelling decisions are being made for the wrong reasons, and also these grand gestures are just fucking infuriating.
Well, I mean, I think the other thing too is that like when they redo the universe, it's kind of it's a good excuse to go like, now new people can jump in because we're starting over and you can join in and you could be a part of it. But the problem is
also
that
just all the moments of like people dying but not really.
It's
JK.
It's weird.
Didn't mean it.
It's weird because you think of like, say, One Piece. You think
Wolverine didn't actually die. He actually got warped into the prehistoric area where he was a caveman fighting dinosaurs, and he had to get all the way back through time.
You mean Batman?
That was Batman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit. It makes more sense for it to be Wolverine because at least he could live that long, kind of, maybe. Yeah. But yeah,
it was Batman.
Oh, caveman Batman.
It was caveman Batman, and it was great. Yeah. The
Werewolf Captain America.
I mean. That's the thing too. Yeah,
I found that page. You see me post it in Discord. I'm like,
I did.
I kind of want to read that.
I saw you post that.
What?
Yeah, werewolf
Captain America.
There's also zombie Avengers. There's a lot of
Captain America of Hydra.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's Captain Hydra,
but he won't be. He'll just be Captain America.
There's also Captain Nazi. I mean, there's Captain Everything. Look, the point remains is that comics, the point I'm trying to make is that look at One Piece, which is like almost 900 chapters, and you go like, yeah, I want to introduce someone, and the person goes like, I ain't gonna fucking read 900 chapters. But you say, hey, how about you read Spider-Man? They go like, where do I start? You know, that's a good question. I don't know. You do the research and you come back to me, and I'll tell you if you got the right one or not. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna look at this shit and go like, well, Spider-Man 1 what? You're not talking about like
there was no Spider-Man 1, was there?
Yeah, they're not talking about. Yeah,
whenever you find out about some character, like he was introduced in Detective Novels 36.
Excuse me, there is no Spider-Man 1. There's the Fantastic Four with Spider-Man. Is that what you're talking about?
Was he from the Fantastic Four?
I think Spider-Man started.
That's how it usually goes. Like this character was first introduced in Detective Comics 36 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think.
Oh fuck! Does that mean I have to read that one too?
I know Blackheart, who was part of Daredevil, was introduced in the Fantastic Four first.
For me, it's just the industry as a whole has such a blatant disrespect for its own storylines and characters that I can't take them seriously. So the best I can do is watch the derivative works that are adaptations of them that are like, first of all, filtering down to the shit that worked in many cases and skipping a lot of the bullshit.
I mean, as much as people probably don't like the Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire stuff, it is like, it's easier to follow. Like, try reading a Spider-Man comic.
That's not even necessarily true. People often think that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies are still like the best superhero movies.
Yeah. I don't keep up with what people say.
Those are really well regarded, I think, except for the third one.
I mean, I just remember a lot of people.
Spider-Man 2 and X2 were like, for a while, they're like the best superhero movies.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
I thought so, but I didn't know what other people thought.
People love X2.
I thought people.
In both cases, they're like, no, the third one. What'd they do? I mean, they're doing everything right, and then they didn't.
I don't know. I kind of like Spider-Man where he had hair that was like Elvis Presley, like all the way up to his fucking, like to the sky. Who was that kid? That was good Spider-Man.
That was insufferable.
I love that
terrible movie.
I loved how big his hair was.
His hair was. I love how he was this ridiculously attractive nerd.
Yeah, it was great.
But he wore glasses. That means he's not. They're doing that with Ready Player One, and I'm so mad. In Ready Player One, he's just a fat slob that sits around playing video games all day in a trailer, and he doesn't go anywhere ever because life sucks because this is post-apocalyptic society.
Sounds like my life.
Nightmare and shit. Like, he's just miserable.
I'm a beautiful nerd.
He's just miserable and awful, and everything sucks. And there's actually a whole plot arc where he specifically programs a fitness thing into his game, into his Oasis thing, so that it will, like, force him to do exercise every day. and he has to meet quotas for weight loss and fitness, otherwise it'll like lock him out of the game for a week and stuff like that. Like that's a whole part of the movie. I mean, the book. In the fucking movie, he's just some fucking model, and they put glasses on him to make him not.
I don't know.
Because that makes him nerdy or something.
I lost my glasses, but I had glasses, and I could do that too.
And they're just gone now.
They're just gone. I could do that.
Witness Andrew's transformation in real time.
Yeah, I could basically do that. Well, here.
Your whole voice just changes as you take the glasses on and off. Well, actually. By the way, that actually is going to be what we get about the superhero discussion we had a moment ago. Well, Mary Jane was.
Spider-Man was known to be quite handsome to Mary Jane.
Spider-Man 1065 Ultimate Edition.
He got hit with a fucking attraction ray.
But the dumbness of comics is seeping into the movies now, which is a problem.
Hasn't it always been since like Disney took over?
The especially dumb part.
Oh.
And actually not Disney.
Oh no.
So one of the things I'm looking forward to is I want Age of Ultron to happen, and I want not Age of Ultron. I want the Infinity War to happen, and I want them to kill someone.
Jesus.
And I want them to never come back.
Iron Man.
Exactly. Because Tony Stark's like that guy has been doing this for so many years now. It's like his contract has to be running out. I'm waiting for them to kill somebody, and they never come back.
Aren't they just going to kill all the Avengers?
And I want deaths that are permanent and like permanent.
Okay.
Like unless they do like literally a reboot.
Okay.
And I mean like a real reboot.
I mean, I think you're going to get that.
Like my point is that like Tobey Maguire versus Andrew Garfield was a reboot in that they're literally not the same universe at all.
I thought they were going to do that during Civil War with Captain America. That would have been the perfect opportunity to do it when he's being like a traitor.
Just to kill somebody off.
Well, yeah, because
they almost killed off War Machine, then just didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't want to make one of the heroes bad by having them kill somebody, even though it's the guy that no one cares about because it was Vision that did it.
Hey, excuse you.
No one cares about Vision. He'll probably be dead in the next movie.
He will be actually, literally, because
it has to be,
because
he's a character designed to die. It's built into his character.
I mean, he's also
all he can do.
His character is also literally like the plot point to the Infinity War. Yeah. So like, you kind of have to die, bro.
But I'm waiting for characters to die and then never come back in this universe.
I mean, they will.
Like maybe 20 years from now, Disney will literally like start over again.
Keith, but they would never. Disney is not somebody.
I never want a movie where they resurrect someone.
No, they won't.
And actually, he didn't die, or we use this magic chamber to bring him back, like it's the last Resident Evil movie.
I don't think.
Did you see that? Yeah. Like Resident Evil 5 or 6, to and we brought back Rain from the first movie. Remember when she died? She's back again. There's 2 of her. It's like every single character that died in the first movie came back in like the 6th movie because they were all clones. I'm like, fuck.
I want to make a point, by the way. I think Umbrella Corp has probably the funniest HR department ever. Like, their HR department must fucking hate life. Where like people get cloned back into existence and are like, wait, do we got to reopen their payroll, or like how's this working? And it's like, no, don't worry about Ava Wong. We have like 20 of them.
It's like a post-apocalyptic world where it doesn't matter anymore.
I know, but you have to. It's still a functioning company. No, they still get tax breaks.
One of the weird things is the movies make more sense than the games.
I mean, I don't think the game's focal point was the story. Because I think the game kind of just like added that last.
So what happens naturally in the movies is that the apocalypse happens.
Yes. Zombies do that. As
you became aware of over the course of playing Revelations and 6 and 7 with me, is that you became very aware of the fact that society's not falling apart.
No.
It's like the Dead Rising approach to zombies, where it's like, which was not clear at the time. Like in Dead Rising, it's like, this place is Zombieland, but it's quarantined, and we're going to blow it up at the end of the game. And like that keeps happening in Dead Rising.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so there's like weird isolated pockets.
Yeah.
With how many zombie outbreaks keep happening in Resident Evil, at some point you would think that the apocalypse was happening. But it's even this late in, it's always always a weird localized
it's always
thing
contained.
That's only there, and you're playing as some jackass that goes there on purpose.
I think
as opposed to just immediately blowing it up.
Isn't it always it's like Umbrella Corporation like seals off the area the moment that they somehow have walls, like I guess
what I liked about the movies is that
they don't bother.
The second movie was Resident Evil 2 in that it's the city now instead of the Spencer Mansion and it's Outbreak. But whereas in Resident Evil 2 they supposedly successfully contain it, in the movie they blatantly don't. And so the third movie is when they're like in like the
post-apocalyptic world.
The third movie takes place in like a destroyed Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like already. And that's the third of like 6 movies.
Yeah.
They kept going.
Well, I mean, they're like perfect schlock.
Yeah.
They're like 100% perfect schlock. Because you could have fun with it 100% and it doesn't offend you as a player of the game because it's so far away from the game. It's not even like comparable. And as somebody who doesn't know about the games, you're like, I don't even know what's happening right now. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, why is there this some woman and why is there this thing? It's like, it's perfect. But
my problem with talking about the stupidness of superhero comics getting into movies, we already had the Man of Steel movie. The Batman vs Superman thing where Superman dies but not really. Right? I think specifically he did die, but they resurrected him.
They resurrected him in Justice League.
Yeah, so like he's already back. Yeah. But I think they tease him being alive at the end of Batman.
I wouldn't say he's back. Have you seen that CGI on his lip? Well, I
literally haven't watched either movie because I can't bring myself to. I still have only seen Suicide Squad and Man of Steel, and that was enough.
Was it?
Twice burned, man.
Twice burned. Got out of the kitchen. You watched Wonder Woman, too.
I'm not just going to put both hands on again. Wonder Woman was not a whole different league compared to how bad those were.
It counted towards the goal of Justice League.
But, it was in a whole different league as far as quality goes.
I guess.
It was an outlier in that it was it's fine. Whereas, the other ones were fuck, man. There's a special kind of dread I can get while watching a movie.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm just miserable and having a terrible time.
Keith, that sounds like
and I even start to develop a headache. And I just don't... I'm like, why would anyone even watch this? And it's happened 3 times. And 2 of them are DC movies.
That's a pretty consistent pattern.
The first time was a movie called Priest, which everyone's forgotten now. But I got free tickets for it, and I just walked in and watched it. I think
Priest?
Yeah. It was some movie about a bald guy in a post-apocalyptic world that was like some kind of priest in some kind of weird dystopian future society thing where it's it explains it in the movie, but if you don't care about the world, then you're going to not remember it long term.
Okay. And
it's just he's on a train for some reason fighting some dudes. It's midpoint between Equilibrium and Mad Max or something like that.
Sounds like it's one of
those completely disposable movies that everyone forgets about immediately.
Sounds like Eli, but with action.
Book of Eli?
Yeah.
I hated that movie.
I
hate the twist specifically.
Are you sure? Because that twist was I was blown away.
I was on board for most of the movie, honestly, and the twist was so dumb. Then why were you fighting the whole movie? So many people died because you're just an asshole. You had it memorized, you fuck, and you're killing people. You killed so many people for this book you had memorized the whole time. You could have fucking written it down again. I get it. It's yours and shit, but so many people died. The whole movie hinged on you being so obsessive over that shit.
I think it would have been kind of... I think it just would have been funnier to watch him burn it. The moment someone showed up and it was like, we're taking that book. And he's like, gone. And the person's just like, I guess I go back to my employer. And
especially if he had it memorized the whole time, he could have just burned it. I can't let you have this. All right, so destroy it then. You have it memorized anyway.
I mean, the worst.
That makes way more sense. What are they going to fight you for it now? It's gone.
There's
so many better directions to go in that make that movie work better than what happened. And it's fuck.
Could you imagine if he gets captured? It's fine, you memorized it. Write it for us. And he goes okay, and he just writes dots.
Yeah.
He just writes down dots the entire thing, but they're not raised. He just writes weird dots on the entire piece of paper. And the people are like, this isn't the book I was looking for. He's like, that's the book I felt. But
when I watched Priest, I just dread took over. Where I'm just like, oh shit.
Headache, and
this thing doesn't make any sense, and nothing's remotely entertaining about any of this. And I'm like, do I just leave? Because I've never walked out of a theater before.
Oof.
And I still didn't. But I was like,
I still didn't.
But I've never considered it more of should I just leave? Actually, there's one more time before that I considered leaving a theater. I was watching Saw 4, I think, with Max.
I'll take your word for it.
And
some Saw.
Usually there's some kind of story going on in a Saw movie. Of some kinds. There's a connective tissue to it. Like something's happening. I mean, Saw 1 was mostly, we're stuck in this room. Why are we here? How do we get here? How do we escape? The scenario's happening.
We're in a bathroom.
But Saw 3 or 4 or whatever just opens with 5 consecutive executions.
And you're like, who are these people? I don't care.
You don't know any of the characters and you don't know what the movie's even about.
Yeah.
And it just opens with that. And it's Max and I literally looked at each other if they do one more execution before anything happens, we're just going to leave. But then the movie started. But I was like, it was 15 minutes of just that movie, just pointless gore.
Jesus, that movie rode on a very fine line with you guys. It sat there going can I kill another person or are they going to walk out?
It was right there. It turned out to be technically serving a purpose because they were establishing the person who replaced Jigsaw makes unfair games that you can't win.
Yeah.
And it was that movie where the person who's making the games where you can't win, and that was what they were setting up.
I think that was 4.
But they were doing it by showing. The problem is they did it the worst way possible, which is just marathoning.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm like, this isn't even a movie.
It turns into that.
I don't really want to watch this.
It's like a highlight reel where you're like, dun 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 dun.
Which is what happened with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
So like when I watched Man of Steel, I was like, I was fine for a while. It was around the time the dad dies for no reason in the movie that I was like, the fuck is this movie? And then over time, it's like, wow, this whole movie is just dark and gray and grim, and there's no hint of heroism anywhere, and it's just depressed all the time, and it has no real sense of like how to characterize or tell a story or go anywhere.
I miss Smallville,
and I don't need to just have a wacky old time because like I like watching horror movies all the time. It's fine, but like the movie just had nothing for me,
and then nothing to offer,
and it was so long and loud and dull, like thump thump thump, loud explosion noises, and just everyone's just miserable all the time, and it's not going anywhere. So I was like, should I just leave? But like fucking Suicide Squad gave me a headache immediately because the fucking musical intros.
Oh,
and I'm like, it's like watching a fucking 1 minute long sizzle reel like trailer for a thing.
Okay,
but it's blaring and it's like playing this music at you and it's like hype, hype, hype. Like I don't like watching trailers because trailers don't make sense.
Yeah,
trailers are like. Panning shot and car crash and explosion and we will rock you.
That's the point.
It's just noise.
The point is supposed to just be like, oh, that really got me excited. Yeah. What was that? Yeah.
But the whole intro of Suicide Squad is that nonstop for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, I am fucking numb. And I'm a person who liked Sucker Punch. Because you know what? Sucker Punch was a movie where the song would play and the anime style action sequence would happen.
Yeah.
And it was set to the music. And that was what it was for like 5 minutes.
And that's fine.
Because a scene was playing out. We're going to watch an anime. We're going to watch a fucking girl with like pigtails dressed in like a what looks like a Japanese like high school uniform getting a katana fight against the giant fucking samurai statue. And she's going to like block the blow and she'll go like carving through the floor and shit like that. Like it's like even Sucker Punch was more coherent than fucking Suicide Squad because it was like a bunch of, it was action set pieces set to music. The whole movie, which is criticized for a lot of reasons that are mostly valid, at the very least, is a series of music videos that are fun to watch. Like, you could take each fight scene and put on YouTube, which people have.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
And you can just watch that fight scene with that song set to music. Oh, yeah! It's a cover of Search and Destroy from Iggy Pop and the Stooges, and they're fighting a dragon in a helicopter. Let's do this. Like, that's the whole movie. Is a bunch of scenes like that. Fucking Suicide Squad is like 500 completely incomprehensible scenes sent to loud-ass music that has nothing to do with anything, and it's all the most obvious shit like fucking Fortunate Son is playing, and Sympathy for the Devil, and a bunch of other bullshit. Like the most bottom. It's like when I watched Percy Jackson, and they walked into a fucking casino, and it played Poker Face, and then they went, and then they're like, we gotta go meet with the devil, and they're going down the highway, and they played Highway to Hell, and I'm like, you fuckers, how dare you? You remember Percy Jackson? You remember that brand of bullshit? Where they played Poker Face in the casino and they went on the highway and played Highway to Hell. And I'm like, I hate you.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love classic. I love classic songs. I love classic rock. I love classic a lot of stuff. Fuck you. Stop it. Leave it alone. Just let it die. I got so bad. Naya was telling me about that fucking new Jumanji movie, and she was like, oh, at the end they played like Welcome to the Jungle. I was like, leave it alone. Let it die. I'm so tired. I get the joke. You want to make a joke. Fuck your joke. Just leave it alone. I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of old songs. And you can call me a grump, but like I've lived...
Songs aren't even being used for interesting reasons.
I've lived so long and I've heard those songs so much that I'm... And guess what? It's not original. You're not the first person to think Welcome to the Jungle would be funny in a jungle movie. You're not the first.
What sucks... I at least use the song for an interesting reason.
Well, yeah.
Because every now and then you hear a classic song that's played because the lyrics actually like parallel the entire story of the movie and stuff like
Armageddon.
That. But a lot of the time what people actually are doing is they just pick a song where the chorus features the word that is the setting of the thing.
Yes.
And
Stop.
and oftentimes the song has nothing to do
I hate you.
with the movie at all.
I hate you so much.
Because most songs are metaphorical.
Yeah.
So the thing they say in the chorus usually isn't actually what the song's about anyway.
Like, okay, you want me to tell you what a good use of a song is? Aerosmith. I don't want to close my eyes. Good song, right? Using Armageddon.
'Cause I miss you, baby.
And I don't want to miss a thing. Okay, the point is
Even
that
when I close my
no,
eyes.
it's even when I dream of you. The sweetest dream will never do because I still miss you, baby.
You know it, too.
And I don't want.
I almost saw Aerosmith, but he fell off a stage.
Jesus Christ!
I was gonna see. What was it? My family got tickets to ZZ Top and Aerosmith tour.
Okay, well,
like,
I mean,
like,
you still did you still get to see ZZ Top?
No, the tour got canceled because Steve Tyler fell off a stage and hurt himself.
Fucking
and they had
asshole!
To cancel the rest of the tour.
I would be so mad. At least let me see ZZ Top. Fucking Christ! That's why it's so good.
You can do that now. Your voice. Your voice is set up.
Nah, not even close. I'm not that talented. But the point I was.
That's the talent line.
Yeah. But the point I was trying to make is that in Armageddon, they play that song from Aerosmith, and the scene is happening, and guess who's in that scene?
His daughter?
His daughter.
Is in that movie?
And that makes sense.
Liv Tyler.
It makes sense in the context. It's a romantic song, but it's a song by an artist whose daughter is playing the role. Wow, that's really ingenious. You're playing an old song with the daughter of the person, but it also kind of fits the role because, it's like going into space or whatever.
I don't think that was an old song. I think that song was literally made for that movie.
What doesn't matter. The band is old. The band was old as fuck.
I mean, but no matter what, that's how you get the instant pass is when the fucking song's made for the movie.
Well, yeah, but the
Wake
point...
me up! Save me!
The point I'm making is that if you draw a connection like that, where you're saying like those factors, more than just, hey, what is the fucking title of this scene?
Can we just dwell for a second on the amazing coincidence and how fantastic it is that that song that we associate exclusively with trying to escape from bad media is made for a terrible movie? Because it was for the Daredevil movie. It's like you watch that movie, like, wake me up.
I forgot it was.
Me.
That's right. You're right. That is for that movie. That she has another. Who was it? No, it wasn't her. I think it was Paramore who made a song for Twilight. There's so many.
I'm very surprised.
There's like so many. I remember I saw Paramore live, and that was a great time.
They're fun.
She's fun as fuck, and Paramore is hot as fuck. But the problem was that, like, one, there's a lot of people at those concerts, and they did not have chairs. And two,
you didn't like the crowded places, a little loud. Are you saying that nothing compares to A Quiet Evening Alone?
Yeah. Her songs didn't really make much sense in the context of a giant arena. Like, I appreciate her music more alone, surprisingly.
We had a Let's Play that started with us singing Paramore at your apartment in Sacramento. Yeah.
I can sing a lot of Paramore.
We just kept singing Paramore at each other.
I know so much Paramore music.
It might have been Broforce, I'm not sure.
It probably was Broforce. I don't know. It probably was something dumb. The point is that Paramore's great. Check her out. But no, like I hate fucking concerts. I hate that shit. I hate being so fucking close to a bunch of people, even though
one of the better ones I've been to
a lot of concerts.
We went to Cake.
Yeah, they were like giving away a tree.
That was a weird concert.
Fucking tree.
Like I was thinking about concerts on the way here because I was listening, and like I've walked out of multiple concerts because like I was like I just have a headache now.
Really?
Like just the screeching and stuff. Oh, you were at one of them
that you walked out on.
Yeah, you walked out first.
Oh, did I?
There's the Black Keys concert.
Oh,
the audio was just bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it was like ringing.
Yeah.
You were at Arco Arena, which is now like Sleep Train Arena or something, which sucks. It's a Cake song named after Arco Arena, and now it doesn't make sense. Although it's an instrumental, so who cares?
Also, most of the signs still say like Arco Arena somewhere. They didn't get all of them.
But like we
you could still
we
Google
were singing
it.
Black Keys, and it was just screeching.
Right.
I'm now.
I remember that.
Which weirdly happened at the other Black Keys concert I was at, but it wasn't the Black Keys. Because I saw a concert that was Black Keys. Was it the Suns? I forgot who the other band was called exactly.
The Suns?
No, the Suns was at the different thing. Phoenix. It was Black Keys, Phoenix, My Chemical Romance, and Smashing Pumpkins. And
wow, that is a lineup.
It's a lineup.
Holy shit!
It was one of those things where it wasn't a tour; it was an event.
Oh,
so it was a one time.
They all just got together.
Go to that concert. Yeah. That's the one time they're meeting up.
Oh, that's even worse.
And that's fucking. Well, I don't mean like an event, as in like Warped Tour.
It's not like it's not a party.
Like, it was like a sponsored concert.
Yeah,
like
someone paid them a lot of money to get
sponsor
together.
this concert, and this is a concert.
Yeah.
4 fantastic bands to see back to back. Like I had a great time seeing Black Keys, followed by Phoenix, followed by My Chemical Romance, followed by Smashing Pumpkins.
Jesus!
But then Smashing Pumpkins had bad audio.
Excuse me, were we not using the same?
I was just like,
were we not using the same audio for everybody?
Like we were all there, hyped to go there and stuff. We actually walked out. All of us collectively left before they finished their set because I'm like, it hurts.
Wow.
Smashing Pumpkins hurts.
Jesus.
Turns out we didn't want to go for a ride.
Poor Smashing Pumpkins. I was hyped
for a whole week. I made like a hybrid album that was alternating between My Chemical Romance and Smashing Pumpkins songs and handed that out just because there was people that didn't know both bands fully. And so it was just helping.
What? There are 2 bands you should definitely know.
That was a good show. That was a good show.
I would. That happened. I would bet it'd be a good show. That sounds like a good time. The
connection between Black Keys concerts is they're the 2 concerts I've walked out of before they were fully done.
They're both at Arco.
No.
No, the second one wasn't.
No. So I went. The Smashing Pumpkins one was first, and that's why I wanted to see Black Keys. Because they only got to do a small set for that.
Yeah, but where was
Black Keys concert?
Where was the Smashing Pumpkins one at?
Somewhere.
Oh.
I've never been there before or since. So it's not one of the places I know.
Well, fuck that place.
But I've had some fun concerts though. Like I saw Cage the Elephant open for then Foo Fighters. So like that was a good show.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I got to hear the one Cage the Elephant song I know, the one from Borderlands. And then I got to see a Foo Fighters concert.
That's pretty good. It's pretty.
That No Rest for the Wicked song is fun to listen to.
What is?
But their opening band was a mariachi band.
Like a real mariachi band,
like a mariachi rock band or something. It was just weird.
Excuse me.
That band, Cage the Elephant, then Foo Fighters.
Mariachi rock band.
Yeah.
So like,
weird.
So there's some asshole using maracas, and there's also some asshole using like.
They also had like an accordion, I think, at one point. Like just weird shit was happening.
But there's also a guy sitting there blasting it on like the drums.
It was a weird one.
I don't know about how I feel.
It's like when I saw Jane's Addiction and Nine Inch Nails. I saw Jane's Addiction and Nine Inch Nails together, which are weird. They're weird in a way too because you think of them as being different eras.
They're different. Yeah, I don't feel like
What's weird is that they're from the same years as each other.
But do they sound well together?
They're fine.
Like back to back.
They play after each other.
Well, anyway. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like you hear one and then go to the next.
Their opening band was Street Sweeper Social Club, which is Tom Morello.
Okay, no, that's not.
So it was Tom Morello, followed by Nine Inch Nails, followed by Jane's Addiction.
What?
And I looked up the guitarist because Nine Inch Nails is always a bunch of.
What's the connection?
Like, you know how Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor and then just a bunch of rotating musicians?
Yeah, how did this happen?
I looked up the people that were on the stage. The fucking guy on the stage was Buckethead. The guitarist that was performing was Buckethead. I'm like, oh, huh. That's the guy that.
What is this?
Buckethead.
What is this concert?
Didn't he do the Power Rangers theme song?
What is this? What is this concert you went to? This concert sounds like a fucking travesty.
I also saw. Sunny Day Real Estate, who opened for Weezer, who was opening for Blink-182.
Oh my god!
There's been some fun concerts.
I mean, I went to.
But Cake was fun. They gave out a tree and then they gave out a
tree. They did. They did tell him he had to like take a picture of it every.
We saw Cake, and apparently the gimmick Cake was doing is they would hand out a tree at their concerts. You're supposed to plant in like your backyard or somewhere.
It's still on their website.
You're supposed to photograph it and put it on the Cake website.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You all see this guy? You know him, right?" Like if he doesn't do it, it's like that's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, especially because it was at a school. So it was a little uncomfortable that they went to a school and promoted violence.
But when I talk about Cake being the ideal experience, it's because like it was a much smaller room.
It was.
There was much less crowd, and the audio was good.
The audio was good.
The audio was really good.
Well, it's hard to fuck up an audio in an auditorium.
Yeah, it was because it was at the UC Davis like stage that they have. It's like, oh, this is the best way to see a band. It's just you're in like a college auditorium, the audio is just set up, and there's like 300 people or something.
The only thing that sucked was trying to smoke a cigarette there.
Yeah, you kept trying to find places you were allowed to.
But it was like you had to go.
It's both an indoor place and it's UC Davis.
Yeah, so you had to like go outside in this weird side, but it sucked. I just remember going like, it's not worth having a cigarette, but I needed one badly because that was a lot of people. I think we like sat down. It felt like a school. Like there were stands. You could go to the stands and sit down on them if you wanted. But I think we just like sat against the floor, and there was like against like a wall, a partition they set up, and I think it felt like I was in a school auditorium. Like they were going to teach me about Dare. I was like ready for it.
That's what it always feels like when you go to the auditorium.
Yeah, but we were just both sitting down like super casually. We had our shit next to us, and we like looked like
hanging out and having a good time.
Just hanging out at a school auditorium.
Then we recorded one of our podcasts about it way back then.
We did, yeah. We did do that.
That was weird for the original Sit and Discuss.
Yeah.
This is the second time we've talked about this particular concert on a podcast called Sit and Discuss.
Hey, this audio's better though, so
it's been 6-7 years.
And it's got video.
There was video then. It was literally just a camera on a tripod that was pointing us in your backyard.
Did we talk about the video? Yeah, I guess it's true.
We did not have much of a setup back then.
No, well, we don't have much of one now, so...
Back then, sometimes a whole video would just be you with a selfie stick camera just going around your garage while 3 or 4 of us were just in there and we were just talking, and that was the video.
I remember that. I think I tried looking up someone's skirt.
Fuck.
I think it was, yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
From a question about comics.
Oh, right. I was talking about the stupidness of comics getting into the movies.
Yeah.
Which
then turned into a discussion about music. And
so
soundtracks.
Marvel's not tarnished yet, and I just want them to avoid that.
I don't think they will. I think once those contracts
X-Men fucked up already.
Did they?
And DC fucked up already.
Are you talking about the Phoenix thing?
No. No.
Oh no.
So not the Phoenix part. So
they fucked up more.
We talked about how Man of Steel fucked up in that Superman died and came back. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Especially since I'm pretty sure Superman is just going to come back as Superman, and it's like nothing matters.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm cool with the resurrection of Phoenix as a concept in general, because Jean Grey dies but then comes back, but it's because she's so powerful, but also she's not her anymore, and it's like it's all spinning out of control, and it ultimately leads to her death anyway.
Okay. Okay.
And so fine. So my problem with X3 is not Phoenix.
Okay.
It's just that it's not a good movie.
Oh.
But that's the one way you can do a resurrection is like that kind of shit happening. Well, there's like sufficient weight to it, and it's also like the point of the movie is the resurrection itself.
Yeah.
And also like there's cost assigned to it, and like storytelling. It's not just them throwing their hands up and saying, "JK, they're back." But the problem is now they did that.
Oh. Yeah.
Because now they did Days of Future Past, which at the time I thought was a good X-Men movie on its own, but they used it as an excuse to retcon whatever they felt like didn't like about the other movies.
Yeah.
But then they also made a sequel that's still in the past, which is also retconning stuff also, but they haven't even made a movie that takes place in the future yet that uses all those retcons they did, and now there's such a soup of movies that you literally can't tell what's true about any part of the X-Men universe anymore. And then just to add that, Old Man Logan is like, none of it's real. Because like Old Man Logan is like, this is fucking you reading your stupid comics, and it's like, I guess the idea is he takes place in a different universe, but like immediately it's like the entire X-Men universe has just collapsed, and you can't tell what is true in any of the movies.
I thought Old Man Logan was like existing for the premise that basically, aren't they like running out of their license? Like, isn't Sony like getting close to their contracts running out? I think
they were. So X-Men is Fox. The same people
or Fox then.
So
I'm saying
people that have Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but they also lost Deadpool, didn't they?
I don't think they lost Deadpool.
Yeah, Disney owns Deadpool now.
Aren't they currently making the sequel?
Disney is.
I'm not up to date on the news. Yeah. I heard a podcast that vaguely alluded to the idea of that maybe Disney has Wolverine now or something.
I think that was why Old Man Logan happened.
I'm out of the loop on that. My understanding of why Old Man Logan happened at the time was because of the fact that Hugh Jackman was done.
Yeah.
Like the actor's done, so he's like, let's make. But he wanted to make Old Man Logan.
Yeah. Well, it's a send off for both him and Picard.
Well, because like he said he wanted to do Old Man Logan, just like how Mark Hamill said he wanted to do The Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes people will call out like I'm done with this role, or I'm getting tired of this role, but I'd like to do that specific storyline.
This is where it ends.
So they did Old Man Logan, but not really, because it's really not Old Man Logan.
No,
it's the only thing that's accurate is that he's an old man that's
named Logan.
and he's worse at healing. Like it's Wolverine in the future that heals less well. But nothing else is similar, because in the comic, it's a post-apocalyptic society where all of the villains defeated all of the heroes, and they just carved up the world into a bunch of territories like Mad Max. And so it takes place in California, which is Hulk territory, because there's a whole inbred Hulk family now.
Yeah.
And they're just all over the place. And at one point, fucking Hulk even swallows Logan whole, and like all this other shit that like, how would you even film these things? So instead they just made a completely different story that has a different setting and a different premise and a different everything. Then they just called it the same thing.
That's fine. It's Hollywood. They do what they want.
It's not even an adaptation. It's just not the story.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I think I want to say that all the X-Men are like, their time is ticking out. I think Disney's going to own them again.
It might be.
And I think they're kind of rushing to kind of like, let's just make what we can to get money before Disney owns the fucking
Which is like such a double-edged sword of like, yay, now we've got it set up so that, all right, now the Marvel universe isn't all fractured and fucked up over all these different properties. But then you're like, but now Disney has everything.
No,
now Disney owns all entertainment forever. Like, just wait till Disney fucking owns WB. Like, they just get the fucking DC credit somehow.
I don't think that would be okay.
I just feel like at some point, like they have Star Wars,
I mean,
and they have Pixar, and they have Marvel.
At some point, like, the government will step in. Like, it has to.
Can you step in when it's literally just you owning a bunch of fictional properties?
They literally own almost the media.
I know, it's scary.
I mean,
they own so much shit.
Disney
now
doesn't stop at movies, by the way. Disney also owns television shows.
Can't wait for when Disney owns One Piece. They're just going to start buying all the anime shows next.
Who was it that, well, Disney could buy...
Does Disney own Funimation yet?
No, Crunchyroll does.
Crunchyroll? Do they own... See, Disney just needs to own Crunchyroll next. It might be next.
It could be.
They're always buying another thing.
Well, Disney already owns Miyazaki films.
Yeah, so for like the longest time, it's easy to be all like, I can't wait for when Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and X-Men all exist in the same universe as the Avengers. But at the same time, you're like, fuck, all of entertainment's going to become a Disney sludge.
Hey, look, at least Marvel movies don't have musical cues.
Except the Guardians movies.
That's different. That's not musical cues. It's more of...
Ooh, child.
That's just...
Things are gonna get easy.
It's called pandering.
That was the climax of the movie.
It was.
Ooh, but shaka.
I'm not a big fan of Guardian movies.
I really like both those movies.
I can see why people like them.
That's the paradox here, is that there's a bunch of people that are currently getting uncomfortable with the Disney takeover, but simultaneously still really like a lot of the movies.
I mean, Disney they're not churning out shit.
Yeah.
They're just they just also own everything that's churned out every year. Yeah. Like if you go to
the thing is they find things that are good and they take them.
I'm trying to think.
And they're like, keep making the good thing, but now I own you.
There's at least like 3 Disney movies per year.
More. There's like on average there's like 2 or 3 Marvel movies per year.
Oh shit.
Plus a Star Wars movie, plus a Disney movie, plus a Pixar movie.
No, there's not a Pixar movie every year.
There's a Pixar movie every year and a Disney movie every year.
I thought there wasn't a Pixar movie. I thought Pixar took a break for a while.
They both separately make a movie every year, on top of there being like a Disney Earth movie and stuff like that, like the nature documentary movies. And there's like 2 or 3, I think there's usually like 2 live action Disney movies.
How do I become CEO of
like
Disney?
Isn't We Bought a Zoo like a Disney movie? And like Pete's Dragon, isn't that a Disney movie? Like I think a lot of live action movies every year. Disney, they're doing all these Disney movies. Well, first of all, Pirates is a Disney movie, but also like they keep making other theme park based movies now. Like Tomorrowland came out like last year, and then this year the Oprah Winfrey movie came out that I think is some sort of children's thing that I assume it was Disney too. I don't keep my finger on the pulse here, but there's a lot of Disney movies every year.
An Oprah Winfrey Disney movie?
It was some.
I mean, what is that? What is an Oprah Winfrey movie?
No, it just has her in it. It's not about her.
Oh, okay.
There's some.
That makes more sense.
It's like a children's book that got adapted into a movie. Like it's in theaters right now.
Okay.
And Oprah's one of the actors in it, but that's all I remember.
Can she act?
She's in movies a lot.
Is she?
Yeah.
I thought Wait, are you mixing up Oprah Winfrey with
She's in movies. Like she was was it wasn't Oprah Winfrey in Roots?
I don't know.
Along with every black actor ever, basically, was in Roots.
Racist. I don't know.
It's about black people. Do you know what Roots is?
No.
Oh, it's a movie about slavery.
Sounds boring.
Like, it had everyone in it. Like, it had fucking...
everyone in it. I can't imagine clamoring.
It had a Reading Rainbow in it. LeVar Burton, right? Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah. He was in the Roots.
Yeah.
Isn't he the guy that gets whipped in the scene where they're like say your name, and he keeps saying his African name?
What, do you keep saying Reading Rainbow?
No.
Butterfly in the sky.
It's like the most quoted scene.
Take a look. It's in a book. Ow, Reading Rainbow.
This conversation's not offensive. Shut up. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's been a while. We should probably... Are you gonna... Oh, what was the last question? What do you think?
Oh, wow, we're already at 2.5 hours. Yeah, he's at, what do you think made you like Morrowind so much in comparison to Skyrim?
Did you play Skyrim on your channel?
I played it off camera a few times and always stop immediately because it's boring.
It is boring.
Yeah. The answer is everything.
Morrowind's more engaging. It's interesting. It's a world you want to actually explore. Skyrim is very, like, not interesting. It's very boring. You know everything the moment you get out, and you're like, oh,
Morrowind is an RPG.
Morrowind's great. Morrowind's probably my favorite in the franchise, honestly.
The last time Bethesda published an RPG, as far as I can tell, was New Vegas. And then they just stopped.
Probably,
and then they made Skyrim and Fallout 4, and they're just not RPGs.
I mean, they don't need to make RPGs
they're just
anymore.
Not. Like, it's an RPG franchise, and it's a sequel to it, in both cases. And they just stopped being RPGs. They became a flat map where you just do tasks forever, like you're playing WoW.
Yeah.
So you go there, and go there, and go there, and do the task over and over again. Yeah. And the closest thing to role-playing they have is that both games, I think, have a faction system where you can side with a faction.
Yeah.
And that's like essentially the only decision you can really realistically make the whole game.
I want to say they became more like open world experiences.
Yeah.
They're like, they wanted to tone back on the decisions and the RPG aspects, and they just wanted to be like, explore, just go around, explore, and have fun.
But I get so bored with the setting, because the setting is like a homogenous sludge that's like too big but also too similar a lot of time.
It's supposed to be like entertaining, but the problem is they don't make it unique.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to any zone in Fallout 4 and it doesn't feel like, whoa, I'm in a hole. Like, Fallout 3 was different. You can go from like the entrance of the cave, and you'll remember that, versus going all the way down to where like the tree with the faces on it and going to like, you remember a lot of stuff in Fallout 4.
Or you go find
Vegas.
3 dog. Or the weird the top right corner like water city that's like a big mess, and this guy is asking for drugs outside and shit.
Exactly.
And there's like a whole inside market in this like destroyed this ship. It was a ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout 3, you remember.
There's a lot of shit I remember in Fallout 3.
4, I don't remember shit. I remember shit.
I think I played Fallout 4 for longer, too.
There's like a pirate ship. Long series. That was the only one I remember, because it was all by robots, and I thought it was hilarious that they were just like, me mateys, get...
I mean, so much of Fallout 4 was interchangeable sludge, because any particular... Like, one of the worst things I realized about that game was that whenever you get to any particular building, the enemies are randomized.
Yes.
Like, it could be super mutants, or it could be ghouls, or it could be raiders or whatever. It's like, wow, that's how little the world matters, is that there's not even consistency to, like, who's in a place.
That was the thing. Like, 3 had territories.
Yeah.
Like, you could go to the super mutant territory, and you could see, like,
there was chunks of the map that had different feels. Like, that's where you'll find Death Claws. Don't go that way.
That is where the Death Claws are.
Don't go to the Death Claw place.
Don't go
there. Bad.
I remember that. I learned that lesson very quickly.
By the time I played 4, I'm pretty sure the Death Claws could kind of just be anywhere.
Just show up. They would be... I remember I went into a building, walked outside.
No locations matter. Nothing matters anywhere. It doesn't matter what you find anywhere, because everywhere you go, you're just going to get more stuff to add to your pool of vague resources of adhesive.
That's the thing. The whole point of the game was to build a better city. So
the building was shit.
Well, yeah, but it didn't matter what the world was like. You could make a giant
floating room that no one could ever reach and put all the beds in that, and they were fine.
Yeah.
It was like SimCity 2013 building where nothing mattered. It was just nothing. It was awful.
Yeah, it was.
But also, like, I'm inherently less interested in Bethesda's forms of RPGs anyway, because I like the I like BioWare's approach to RPGs, or the standard CRPG approach to RPGs, which is to have like a party of characters that have developing storylines and personalities.
Yeah, being alone is not as fun.
I want to spend time with people.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, most of Bethesda games either have you totally alone all the time, or they give you a sidekick that is basically like being alone.
Yeah.
Like there's no development.
Like a dog.
The only game I've ever played by Bethesda that has developed side characters that wander around with you is 4.
Yeah.
But even then, it was kind of just Nick. It's like, you made a character, Bethesda. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think you like the journey, like, you know, the Lord of the Rings style kind of like experience where it's like there's a quest and there's multiple people on the quest. I like story arcs
and character motivations, and also I like more condensed stuff.
Okay.
And that I like an area to be focused.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite RPG settings is Novaria.
Okay.
You get to Novaria in Mass Effect 1, and it's all about how corporations run this particular ice rock, and it's too far away from anyone to really regulate anything, but you're just trying to get through all their fucking bureaucracy to get to whatever the fuck Saren and Benezia are doing, but you can't get access to the door, and so you're like, oh, this guy's like, can you smuggle goods in for me? And this person, or you can like, this person's like, I think this guy's up to no good, and I want you to help me bust him. And you're like, I'm gonna turn in the red dress lady. Like, you can go in 500 different directions, but all the quests there are themed into a specific setting and how that setting works, and they all complement each other because they expand the story of each other by just being related to each other.
Yeah.
And that's good story. And that's what I want from an RPG.
That's how it should be. Yeah.
And most of the time in Bethesda games, every quest is like a 10-minute task that never comes up again and doesn't feel related to anything else, and you just move on. And it just feels like an endless amount of disposable content, which is what the newest RPGs by BioWare feel like, because they're so much worse. And specifically Andromeda. Yeah. It's like, it feels like they made a giant open area where anyone on the staff could just, in a vacuum, make a quest and just plop it in there.
I think that's the goal. The goal is to be so much more, like a lot less time dedicated to it.
They made them easier to make, and made them
but
there's no oversight.
Like, Skyrim's been added to every console since like it came out on the 360.
Gross. And there's like 15 ports of it at this point.
Yeah, and you have to imagine why.
The joke's always like, it's going to be run on your fridge next.
Yeah, because it's so easy to port. Because there's no oversight you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about like specific advancements in certain areas. You don't have to worry about a team being like, all right, guys, that did the dungeons, like, you got to make sure that this area is like, there's like, who fucking cares? Just wrap it all and throw. If something doesn't work, you can just auto generate that shit. Like, half the fucking stuff in Skyrim is auto generated. And it's like, well, what do you do? You know, at some point, Bethesda's just copping out, like, they're just pumping out a slew. It's like someone drew a map and they were like, and click, and then the game just builds itself for them. And someone just goes like, hey, Fred, could you come in and put the monsters down? And Fred just goes like, random monster here, random monster there, random monster there. It's like,
and no one will tell the difference.
No. And it's sad because Morrowind, when you play Morrowind, it has so much love in it. You could see every like little, you walk into like a town and you go left a couple of times and you see this like small little door.
Number one Google search for Morrowind, where is Caius Kosades? That's true, by the way.
It is.
You type Morrowind in and it auto-completes to where is Caius Kosades?
Morrowind has a lot of problems with it, but one of the best things...
No, I don't think that's a problem. That's a perk for me.
No, I know.
Is that it expects you to understand and learn its setting so well that the first quest is that it gives you street directions on how to find Caius Kosades, and you're supposed to just get there.
You just have to get there.
And I love that the quest log is a journal that's written in chronologically, and you can page through it and stuff like that, and like you flip back 30 pages to the last time you did this quest and stuff, or like, as search features and shit.
Morrowind is a lot of love and a lot of enjoyment. I think I personally love Morrowind. I hate RPGs.
Yeah,
I beat Morrowind I think twice. One is a Khajiit and one is an orc.
Game.
It's a good game.
There's a lot of cool little details there.
I wish those flies stayed.
I still wish it had characters.
I mean,
in a way that Bethesda games unfortunately just don't, which is a bummer. I want characters I care about that develop and do things, and not just be this weird lone wanderer that's the only person that exists, and no one not involved in anyone.
I think a lot of that comes from just them making it easier on themselves. I think having a group would have been a lot harder for them to do, especially on the scale of Morrowind.
I want a Pritchard that's like, Jensen, Jensen, you didn't do a good job at the hacking, Jensen. Like I want someone.
I want someone.
Want people. I just want some people. They can hate me. They can not like
so
me.
Sad.
So many things can happen. It's nice.
I just want people.
Like you play through a Deus Ex game and you're out alone doing stealth missions, but there's like 3 people on a rotating cast that'll talk to you on the comms. And you're like, that guy, yeah. And then maybe they'll be threatened at some point, and you're like, oh shit, I gotta save that person because my pilot. That's the thing that happens in Deus Ex Human Revolution. Is that your pilot that's taking you everywhere through the game? You get to the climax and it's like there's a crash and a bunch of people attacking, and you have to nail that scenario within a time limit, or she dies canonically for good. Like that can't happen in Morrowind because there's 100 scenarios in Morrowind where it's like, oh, here's a quest, that person could die here, and I'm like, all right.
I remember wasn't that a problem in Oblivion? Like, was that everyone was on their own and like all the NPCs kind of like had things to do, but sometimes the things to do actually like could fuck over a quest because
like, characters could die in the simulation.
Yeah,
but my point is
whether simulation is like.
Well, like the world simulation can kill people.
I'm just thinking like medieval times. Someone goes like, "Is this all a simulation?"
Like I'm cool with people dying. I'm not cool with not caring. You care about your pilot dying, like whether she dies or not in Human Revolution.
Hey, look, I care a lot about the lives of all those Morrowind citizens.
But it's a fucking carbon copy of another dude that's walking around a bit, and maybe he'll tell you to kill some rats in his basement, I guess. It's like, oh no, he died. I'm like, all right,
that quest is good. You go upstairs. She has an attic. You go in the attic. You kill some rats. You come downstairs. She goes, oh no, there's more rats in the pantry. And you go in the pantry.
There's more rats in the pantry.
You go in the pantry. You kill more rats.
Andrew, get them. Go get the rats in the pantry.
And then you're like level 3 and you're panicking because these rats are like the size of you and you're like trying to kill them, and you do. And then she gives you like nothing in return. She gives you like, I think, a gold piece. I think she gives you like jack shit.
Like even Oblivion had like the main story had like the heir to the throne as a recurring character. So you had like there was a dude,
you had somebody
that you could invest in some way.
I mean, you could,
but like I've played hours of Skyrim, and every single time I'm like, I haven't even met a character I could tell you like a personality trait of yet.
My horse.
And they're like, go up the mountain so old men can chant at you, and I'm like,
my horse has personality in that game.
But that's gray.
I think I had a mod. Yeah, I had a mod that made my horse tummy was out.
Like for me, like something has to hook me.
Dragons.
Because the gameplay won't.
Oh.
Because the gameplay of Elder Scrolls games is.
Excuse you. It's also
like that's what the combat looks like.
It's also right click.
You just like
you gotta blow air at people.
Like in Morrowind, it's because you have like a 1% chance of hitting, and in later Elder Scrolls games, it's because it's just the game is so fucking loose and not fun.
Yeah.
But like even in Skyrim, like all those years later, you just like it feels like you're flinging a piece of paper through the wind, and that's you hitting an enemy. Like it's nothing like Dark Souls, which came out the same year, by the way. We're talking about these 2001 games, but like in Dark Souls, you hit a dude, and it's like fucking hit that dude, and you're like locking onto him, and you're dodging. Like, I mean, Dark Souls has like Skyrim never had a chance because it came out like within a month of Dark Souls, and I played Dark Souls, and I'm like, look at this engaging combat. You're like locking onto the dude, and you're like, oh, you dodge that attack, and you're managing the stamina, and there's all this shit going on, and in Morrowind and Elder Scrolls games, it's just. I mean, it's like slapping people.
Dark Souls also gave you everything you wanted, which was it was an RPG to its to a core. It was an actual RPG. Because like, not only that, it had characters that came back. You saw multiple characters that would come back, and you would learn about them and personality wise.
It's a small cast of like 10 characters that are reoccurring.
The world is
like no matter your opinion of Dark Souls, you like Onion Man.
Onion Man's awesome.
And Solaire. Like they're like, look at those guys.
So Solaire's great.
You like those dudes, even though you don't like the game, because like look, characters. There's a character in an RPG. They made them. Characters.
Onion Man I was kind of mad at Onion Man because he was always. I don't know how he got to where he did. Fuck that guy.
Oh, now you're here. How do you do?
But Solaire's great.
I seem to have found my way into a pickle.
Fuck you, dude. I don't know how you even got here.
How'd you get in this window?
Yeah.
I had to get through all these archers and shit. Yeah, it took me like 12 tries.
Yeah, I was like...
You can't take that, dude?
I walked in there and killed him. I was like, come on, man. Those archers took more effort than this fucking guy in this bedroom. How did you even get here? Onion Man.
Like each game needs something to me to latch onto. Oblivion had an advantage in that I was relatively new to RPGs in general. Like, I think my first Western RPG was KOTOR.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I played a single one till then.
That's pretty impressive.
And I mean, like, Western RPG as in, like, dialogue-driven, story-based level up a character. Like,
Yeah.
'cause I played Diablo,
I mean,
where you just click. It's a clicker.
I wouldn't call that an
It
RPG.
feels like that's what I mean when I say,
Yeah.
when I say proper Western
Yeah.
RPG. I grew up playing JRPGs.
Morrowind was my first one.
JRPGs were the hot shit everyone freaked out about in the 90s. Like, it's like, look at the Final Fantasy game, look at this thing. Like,
yeah.
those were hype, and people were...
Wow. Those
People liked JRPGs back then a lot.
They did.
To the point where they talk about... People were way more likely to talk about Final Fantasy X than, like, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So I didn't even hear about Baldur's Gate until I was like 20.
I just didn't. I think it was. I think for me the problem was growing up. I didn't like to play RPGs on PS1 or like any of my old consoles. I didn't.
JRPGs are also way more old console friendly than Western RPGs are.
Yes, and
Western RPGs are really mechanically intensive, where JRPGs were often turn-based combat.
Yeah,
and you just come up with quick time events like Legend of Dragoon.
It was really boring, so I never played them. But like when PC came out, I was like, I'll play an RPG, and I played Morrowind, and so I was like, oh, I could get into this.
And then you get sucked in.
Yeah. But like people like CeeLo would play Final Fantasy, and I'd be like, this game's boring. It bores the fuck out of me. I can't stand to watch it.
Like,
and
nowadays, I don't know what my opinion would be of Oblivion, because I can't recreate the experience or like know really. But like, I played it when it was brand new. When I'd only been playing
Patreon.
I'd only been playing Western RPGs for a few years at that point, and I was like, this is crazy. Look how big this is, and you can go everywhere. And I tried Morrowind after that.
It was big.
I was so hooked to it that I tried Morrowind, and I'm like, his hair looks like a clump of melted crayon. So I kind of bounced off that pretty quickly and went back to Oblivion. And I beat Oblivion twice, I think. I got every achievement on the 360. Like, I was all in.
Fucking damn.
So I was like, okay, Skyrim, let's do this when it came out. But it came out at the same time as
Dark Souls.
And I'd been more experienced with a bunch of RPGs at that point. I played all the Mass Effect games at that point,
right?
And like all these things had happened in the interim, and the Dragon Age, and like all these things. I'd played Jade Empire, and so I play Skyrim, and I'm like,
Empire.
I play Skyrim, I'm like, okay, the gameplay sucks, the characters suck, the world's gray. I'm like, there's nothing. I need a thing to like.
Dragons.
I need a thing to like.
Do you like dragons?
Dragons suck. Dragons are the most boring thing in all of fantasy. I hate dragons.
I would beg to differ. I love dragons.
I can deal with dragons in games. It's fine. They don't ruin a game. But all these games that have fucking like dragon boners, where they put dragon in the name of half these games, and they call you a dragon man and shit like that. You're the dragon born, and we're gonna play Dragon Age, and so all these dragon things. I'm always constant like, I don't care about the dragon.
Dragons are cool.
Like, sure, maybe we'll fight a dragon at some point. It's not why I'm here. It's like telling me like, you're gonna be a dragon man. I'm like, whatever. There's a fucking gray wolf again.
You don't want to be a lizard man?
I can't wait to slowly walk up the side of the snowy hill while a bandit and two wolves attack me again. Yeah. And I'm like, where am I going and why, and why should I care?
You're like, why? Please.
I guess I was a prisoner, and I met some dude that was at a place and went somewhere else, and there's some more caves that are gray. I'm like, where am I going, and who is anyone, and why am I doing this?
Yeah.
None of it was intriguing. None of it. It's the most uninteresting thing I've ever played by Bethesda.
Okay.
I hate Skyrim.
Well, that answers that question, sir.
Whereas Morrowind, you're like, fucking Mushroom Town. These buildings are made of mushrooms.
Yes.
And I'm learning commute routes, and I go on a Silt Strider. Yeah, because the Silt Striders join these towns together, the teleporters join those towns together, and like just getting around that game is interesting.
Oh yeah, I love Morrowind. Yeah, I won't.
Morrowind's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Morrowind's great. So play Morrowind, skip Skyrim.
But none of them are my preference. I'd rather play an 0451 game.
Okay, well there you go.
I want to play systems-driven things like a Deus Ex. That kind of stuff where just shit can happen.
Yeah, shit can happen.
It's like where they give you a vague objective and there's like 1,000 ways to accomplish it.
Yeah,
including like how are you gonna kill that guy? I'm gonna tell that guy that he's cheating on his wife, and then like it just murders him, or like all the shit that can happen in Prey.
It just murders him,
or like just like all the shit that can happen in Prey and stuff like that.
Prey
that's all that. There's so much cool shit in those kinds of systems-driven games, and that's what I like.
I kind of like that.
Until they're badly done, like Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Well, they updated it recently, so...
Did I tell you what happened in that game?
Yeah, you told... I mean, I think you spent, like, the last podcast talking about how not okay it was.
Well, did I tell you about the witches?
The witches? No.
There's 3 witches. They're not really witches. They're just, like, taking drugs, basically. And they get attacked. They get attacked for being witches while you're there. And so you gotta defend them. I'm like fighting them with a sword. I'm gonna stab you, witch killer people. And in the middle of the fight, because I was like circling backwards while fighting them because they're charging me, because that's what you do when two people are attacking you at once, is you constantly walk backwards so that they can't actually crush you.
Yeah.
I tripped an invisible scripting tripwire, and so I failed. And the way the game manifested failing was that it brought up like the waiting screen that happens in these kinds of games, like the time traveling screen that always happens, where usually like a thing's rotating or whatever.
Yeah,
it skipped forward 6 hours, and then I'm there in the morning, and there's just all three women are just dead around the campfire, and the guys that were killing them are just gone, and I'm like, what? So it's like an invisible tripwire happened where like I just went into a coma for 6 hours, and the guys that were literally in the process of being stabbed by me just kind of decided not to kill me, I guess, and they killed all the women and then left. And like that's not how the Deus Ex style thing works. So that's bad.
They got too close to the women, or what was?
I stepped backwards away from the campfire too much, so it just assumed I fled basically. But I was literally fighting them. The game wasn't smart enough to take account for whether or not you're in combat as being the trigger.
Yeah,
it took it as like where you're standing right now in a game where mobility is clearly incentivized because it has a stamina system, and every game with stamina, circling your enemy and controlling the distance between you is how you control how much stamina you get back between attacks.
Keith, no, you need to just go ham.
I was not happy.
I mean, it's been a fun game for you so far, so you know.
Oh, it's fun for me for the other reason, because the Switch flips and you're like, all right, let's just fucking have at it.
Fucking this Switch of yours, man.
You have it too. It's just usually set to that one. It's usually already flipped. But we do a type of YouTube content where we're like, let's just have at it, as opposed to like, I'm doing this because I think it's great.
Yeah, mine's
and
always.
We can just have fun with that.
I wish I could just have fun.
Yeah, I have fun with bad things too. See you guys next time.
Bye.
We got through like 2 questions, although one of them was like 7 questions.
One of them had like too many questions.
These people ask a lot of questions. It's fine. Send us questions.
Send us more questions.
Send us questions to SitAndDiscussPodcast. Was it?
Sit and discuss.
Yep, it's SitAndDiscussPodcast@gmail.com. Next time, Andrew's voice will have been rested, maybe.
It will be, and I will sound better.
We'll get to Zero Escape, we promise.
Never.
You're just going to break your voice every week out of protest?
Yes. Good idea, Keith. Good idea.
Bye.
Goodbye.